Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. It's Poet. It's Friday, and it's Daisy time, baby. Hello, Shani. How are you today? Hope that you're recovering and feeling a bit better. And Lord Slangani has arrived. Make room on the naughty step, indeed. I think I've already put him there. He's sitting right next to me tonight. I've picked him up from the airport, and
I fart in your general direction.
I fed him Mexican food for dinner, so he probably is gonna fart in my general direction. Hey, okie dokie, what's going on? Ah!
Jesus!
God damn it! Hey, Hazmat, what's going on? So tonight we're going to be interviewing Everyone Knows Dave. He is the creator of Essakar 2, and we're going to find out what that exactly means and a lot more. You get to know it's coming. That's what she said. So, yeah.
Who doesn't like sweets? Seriously, who doesn't like sweets? How can you not like sweets?
I love sweets. I love sweets. So yeah, we've got
just ranting to myself as always. Get used to it. Hi Pooh Goblin. Hi Craig. Hi Jack. How we doing?
So I think
we've got the mods and the legends floating in.
I think he's streaming over on YouTube.
It's a common British thing. Yes, it is. It's a common British thing. All British people eat sweets. That's why we've all got no teeth.
So I think we're gonna hear his conversation a bit as he's talking to his chat. But we're also gonna go ahead and get his interview. So good evening, Dave. How you doing tonight?
Hello, Poet. I am not too bad at all. How are yourself?
Fantastic. It's Friday. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's
Friday.
always happy.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So, you're streaming on YouTube, correct?
Indeed, yes. We are live on the PooTube.
Very cool. All right, so we've got some dual streaming going on. That's always an exciting adventure. So I guess I'm gonna let you kind of give me a tour, because I don't explore Essakar, admittedly, a whole lot, because it's like I call it massacre. It's a very KOS-y.
Yeah, it's a very, very murdery place. It's full of an awful lot of, murdering and pest-based activity.
Yeah.
That's the way to describe it.
It is. That is true. That is very, very true. So when you picked up Essakar, so first of all, I guess the question that I have, my brain. Okay. Let me try to do this in a way that makes any kind of sense whatsoever.
You're starting to sound like me here.
Some people have brains that are like uncooked spaghetti noodles, right? They can travel from point A to point B. There's no disruptions, and it's very clear. My brain is more like 3 or 4 pounds of wet pasta. It's all tangled up. Point A is going to be intersected by point 22 and point, Z, and it's a mess. So I'm going to do my best to not keep it too much of a mess.
Absolutely fine. Nothing in my brain ever makes any sense or goes to the point that it's supposed to have gone to. Always goes somewhere else.
Yeah, same. I mean, I've got a million things that I want to ask, and I want to ask them all at once before I forget them, but I'm going to forget them. So I guess we just start with the start. Everyone knows Dave. I love the name. How did you come up with that?
Well,
hey,
before I started doing content creation, I worked as a bicycle repairer. So, hi Charlie. My main job was to repair bikes, and I become very well known in my local community for what I was doing. And we were trying to think of, a catchy content creation name, and it just in conversation it was like, well, everyone around here knows Dave.
I love it.
It just sort of stuck. It was like, yeah, that works on so many levels because everyone knows a Dave. If you don't know the Dave, you know a Dave.
This is true, and I think it instantly kind of disarms people and puts people at ease because it's like, oh yeah, you know Dave. You're instantly kind of relaxed.
It's a little comedy thing that that you can relate to. That, yeah, like you said, it kind of diffuses that initial sort of nerve thing that you get when you meet a new person or you go into a new stream. It's always a bit weird when you first go in, and it kind of diffuses it off a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
yeah.
That's me hungry.
Yeah. Oh, here. Did you pick up any of those crackers?
Yes, I got a pack of crackers. I'm fine. I've also got my my trick can of bacon.
Shaney, yeah, it is.
Oh. My internet going funny. Don't go funny now, internet. This is not the time or place.
Yeah, same here. I'm like, I've got a little desync. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think it's actually my internet that went a bit funny there.
No worries, Matt.
Oh dear, this is not the time. This is not the time to go funny, internet. You do pick your times, don't you? Let's just we'll free up some bandwidth, yeah, then pretend that didn't happen.
No worries.
Thank you so much, internet. Yeah, I'd love it. It's perfect.
You don't have yours on automatic for that reason. Oh my god. Okay, do I have to go all the way out then? All right, well, we'll get this going.
They stopped me while I wait for the internet to sort itself out. Look like this thing.
All right, I've just got to come.
Hello?
I got kicked. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to come back in.
It's fine. It happens. Welcome to the world of Daisy and copper-based internet.
That's the same thing here in Germany. It's all copper-based, and it's like I pay for cable, right? But it's still all copper-based, so it's just yeah.
Yeah, I technically got a part fiber line, so it's like fiber up until a street or two away, and then it's copper lines.
Right.
Which is it's not ideal because the speed is compared to most other countries and what most of the places get, it's pretty woeful.
Yeah, I have actually really good speed. Like, I was doing an internet speed test, and it was fine, but yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we're back, and my train of thought derailed. We'll get it back. Hold on.
It's lost in desync. It'll download any second.
One can hope. So,
Oh, if only all my thoughts could be saved and downloaded.
Yeah, go
actually,
back
no, I wouldn't want to see the download file. Actually, that'd be huge.
yeah, it's a fact. So what I was going to get into is what was your first game that you ever played?
First ever game? Zorg. A text-based adventure game.
Oh.
Back on a...
wow.
It was my Amstrad, yeah, my Amstrad PC 616.
Wow. Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah,
See?
I got into gaming really, really early. I'm good. I found rice. There we go. All is solved.
Yes. FTTC. I have no idea what that is, Shane.
I continued gaming pretty much through my entire life from being a child. It didn't really become a big part of my life until the PlayStation 3 days. Fallout 3 on PlayStation 3 and the early Call of Duties were ones that really got a lot of my attention.
I didn't even know Fallout 3 was on the PlayStation. Wow.
Yeah, oh
okay.
yeah. It was Fallout 3 and New Vegas were PS3 releases originally.
Oh, okay. Huh. I only got into Fallout about a little over a year ago, and I've only played Fallout 4, but I fell in love with it as soon as I started to play it.
Oh yeah, I absolutely adore Fallout 4. It's such a good game. It's brilliant on so many, and it still stands up to this day. So yeah, this is the way we want to be going. We want to be heading towards through these craft plains, and we'll head towards Borosh, or as we call it, Balrash.
Balrash. All right, Balrash, here we come. Never thought I'd say that so enthusiastically.
Yeah. Not something that's often said that enthusiastically, to be honest.
Here we go, Balrash.
Let's get to Balrash.
So yeah, so you've been have you always been a big PC gamer, or kind of equal PC and console, or?
I was pretty much console up until a few years back. I stuck by my console religiously. I still had my Gen 1 PS4 when Cyberpunk
Hey, Alex.
I still wasn't even PC gaming at that point.
Oh wow! Okay.
It never really. I never really had much interest in PC gaming because my console could always do it. And
thank you so much for
the beauty
the
of the
sub,
console
Alex.
was when you bought a
Thank
game
you
for console,
so
you knew
much.
it was going to play.
And how are you doing, Puds?
You know,
Yeah.
you weren't, can it play it? Am I going to be able to install it? Am I going to have problems trying to do it? No, you just put the disc in and go.
Right. I mean, well, unless you're as old as I am, and you remember having a Nintendo, and sometimes you had to take out the cartridge, you had to like blow at it and like
give it a
tap
blow.
it, and yeah,
Good old tap on the side.
yeah. But you still knew if you did that, it would play. Like,
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
your troubleshooting.
That was the was it the Mega Drive? I think no, it wasn't the Mega Drive. One of them introduced a flap on the cartridge slot to stop the dust getting in your cartridge slot, so you didn't have to blow it as much. That was like a revelation in console gaming.
Yes.
Something so simple.
Oh yeah. That was much more simple than the complex beast that we have now, than in the wonderful world of PC gaming.
Yes, which is at times exceptionally irritating. It really can be.
You're a lot nicer than I am. Exceptionally irritating. Like, that's
I'm
not the
finding
words
polite
I
ways
use
of
for
saying
it, but yeah.
Oh dear.
I mean, I'm family friendly. It just if your family is psychotic, I guess.
Yeah, I'm publicly acceptable if you happen to be outside the local mental hospital.
For the most part.
Yeah.
So have you ever liked to play arcade games then?
Yes and no. It sounds really weird, but I was really big into Dance Dance Revolution.
Oh, that's a fun game. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved the dance machines when they came out. I was late teens at the time, and used to work at a local market stalls on the Sunday, and I'd spend my entire breaks just slugging 50p's into the dance machines.
Hell yeah.
I got really good, actually.
Yeah, I never lived near any really good arcades until I moved to Japan, and then when I lived there was a massive arcade not too far from my house, and every Friday night I'd take my kids and we would just be in the arcade for hours playing all the cool games.
But it's Japan's like the center of the world for things like arcade games, though, aren't they? They have it everywhere.
Oh yeah,
They're
yeah.
really obsessed with it.
Yeah,
Whereas
and the claw machines and it is. There's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first time I won one of them claw machines. I danced around the arcade. I was like, it's been years! Finally, I've beaten one!
Yeah, what's
I have
wild
got this
is...
Teddy I don't want.
Right, yeah, it's never anything nice. And they had these big bowls of instant ramen. You could go to the store and buy instant ramen for like 50 cents a pack, right? But you would throw your money into these machines all night long. Sorry.
Party quid in to get some
I just had a bit of a jump scare. I didn't mean to yell in your ear. I'm gonna
military zombie.
I'm gonna make you get out of my stream room if you don't knock that off. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that also is effective.
Well, it means, you know, he's got a big backpack and a field vest. I'm having that.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I did ruin his hat though.
But yeah, I would throw money in the machines all night so I could get one of the big, ridiculous instant ramens full of tiny instant ramens. Like, it was just so stupid, but you know, it's one of those things.
It's just like, you're like, you know what, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to win eventually.
Yeah, they get that. They get you, don't they? There's this game called Tsum Tsum that I absolutely loved. I still have it. It's a phone app. Now I have it on my phone, but God, I used to play it for hours in the arcade. So you've been a gamer for a long time then. What's your favorite game of all time?
Of all time, I'd say I'd be tied up between Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. It's kind of hard to pick one out of the two of them and say that's my favourite, because they were both so good in their own way, and both had that same vibe, which at the time games just didn't have. They didn't have that quality level, they didn't have that graphic level, and they didn't have that vibe that sucked you in so much that you just wanted to obsessively play it all the time.
Yeah, and from me playing Fallout 4, I know do the other ones have the kind of same storyline? I mean, the story can pull you in. It's a good story, and it's kind of like a choose your own adventure with which faction that you want to help. And
yeah, they had a similar sort of style to them where you pick different factions and you could basically play the game in any way that you wanted to. But they all had their own individual storylines and their own individual, ways they'd actually the ways they'd done it. New Vegas was exceptionally short, but that's because they were forced to produce it in a very, very short timescale.
Okay.
So it was a really easy game if you knew how to beat very quickly. Whereas 3 was like 4. It was very in depth. It would take you a long time just to get to the end, even if you tried to do it in the fastest way possible.
It might have been Hazmat, except
I got myth on that.
I didn't live in Japan as a youth. I lived in Japan as a mid-30s-year-old woman. Oh no. What are these? What are these? I found some slacks that are interesting. What's going on?
I've got a bit of desync going on at the moment.
Yeah, so do I. I do too. A lot of it.
What is going on today? It's seriously one of those days. It's one of those days.
Okay.
It's not fair. Oh, you found the same slacks as me. These are Mythos slacks.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, they sure are. Very cool. Very cool.
These were designed around a streamer called Legends of Mythos, who I designed this server around.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He had a seizure on stream.
I remember that. Yeah.
Had to stop streaming for a while, so we made these clothes and added them to the server, so that the people that regularly played with him could find them and run around with his name.
Yeah, that's really cool of you. That's that's one of the best things I think about the DayZ community is the support.
Yeah, this community is like no other gaming community I've ever been a part of. It's got a really bad reputation, but it's actually a really wholesome and supportive community. The way people come together in this community is phenomenal. It's like they're a different person in game.
Hey Nate, how you doing?
And the moment they exit the game, they suddenly go back to being incredibly wholesome and incredibly good people.
Yeah, it is. It's really funny that you would use the word wholesome to describe a game that can be quite violent, but that is the exact word that I would use to describe. We're all human. We all have emotions that we can let get out of control sometimes, and we can all get angry. But at the end of the day, most of us do remember we're all human, and we're just here to pull together and support each other.
And,
what is that emote?
This community has been phenomenal. I mean,
look at Nene.
when I first started, getting into DayZ and really getting into DayZ, I was really dubious about what the community is going to be like. I'd heard of what this game can be like. I'd played the game a bit myself and seen what it can be like, and I was, thinking this may be a temporary venture.
Booty love. Booty love. We gotta love it. Yeah, so when did you get into DayZ?
Well, when Fallout, I was really quite a big fan of Fallout, and when Fallout 76 came out and flopped quite badly, I started looking for another game to play. And I come across a trailer for DayZ on PlayStation 4. And the trailer just hooked me in straight away. The idea of a game that doesn't really have any set thing to do, that you don't have to do anything. You literally make the game yourself.
Oh my god, those are so good.
And it's your adventure, it's your game, it's your story.
I need some.
I was like, wow, that's kind of like a dream idea of gaming I've had since I was little. I always thought, wouldn't it be great if there was a game that just gave you the game and went, well, do whatever you're going to do.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, I'm going to try it. And to be honest, I tried it, and I didn't play it again for about 6 months.
El Jocko! What's up, babe? How you doing?
It's just, on console in the early days, it was like, wow, I spawn in, I run around in the dark with a glow stick and an apple, and then I die of hunger.
Gotta catch 'em all, thick booty emotes! Wow. So, yeah, it is a great open game. Oh, is that a heli crash? I didn't hear it.
Oh, where?
Right behind us. Oh. Over a wooden bridge?
Oh, no, that's a static one.
Oh, okay.
Not actually a heli crash, that's been placed as part of the map.
Oh, okay.
So it's a PvP trick we put in.
Oh.
So as you're going across this bridge from Balroch, you'll see that and think, oh, a heli crash. As will every other player as well.
Yeah, okay. So you did intend for this to be massacre.
Yes, oh yeah. It's an absolute massacre place, it really is.
So for everyone who's just joining tonight, we
designed it in such a way that it's
we're continuing the interview series.
You're sort of forced in between PvP and interaction.
Yeah.
And you've kind of got to pick your path of whether you're going to be interacting with the people around you or whether you're just going to be trying to kill them.
What is that?
And it basically, especially during events, it splits the server off into like factions.
Yeah.
Which ends up building for a really good time every time you come in. You usually end up when there's an event or going on or a couple of streamers on here. You end up with this really
I've already had the
event-filled gaming session. Whereas DayZ can have a reputation for being a lot of wandering around doing nothing. Is that working?
Well, it could be a bit of a running simulator sometimes.
Yeah. Cherno is very, very bad for being a running simulator. Especially when they put things like auto run on the servers.
Jocko.
Oh, it is running. Well, let me turn my effects volume down then. Oh, I found a car.
Oh, very cool.
A working car at that.
Well, that's always fun.
Yeah, let's I promise I'll try not to get us murderedly murdered.
Yeah, that's okay.
But it is first person only, so driving on here is quite difficult.
Oh, I pretty much only play on first person only servers. Third person makes me kind of dizzy, and I don't like it.
I've never got on with third person in any game.
Is that gear?
It's just something I can't do. I can't get over the fact that I can see myself.
Has he got a license? Probably not.
It makes it extremely difficult to do things like shooting and aiming. It's just. I'm not sure how anybody actually does that.
I get a lot of speeding tickets.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah, for sure.
I prefer a more realistic look of what I'm doing. My brain's better at processing it when it's like that.
Yeah, I like it too. It's because we run around in first person, so we may as well drive in first person.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I will admit it is a lot easier to drive in third person. It is incredibly easier. It's also a lot easier to drive with controller than it is keyboard. But massively easier.
Third person is cheating.
But my controller at the moment has a bug, so I'm doing it with the keyboard because I don't want to bug my board out again.
Yeah. I mean, I do it with the keyboard. It's really hard. I love to play racing games. I'm pretty good at them, but I always play on console, so I always have my controller, of course. The first time I drove in DayZ was, well, it probably went about as well as everybody's first time driving in DayZ, to be honest.
It was,
when you're not
I remember my first time driving in DayZ. It was an experience, is how I describe it.
How you doing?
We have arrived at Balrash.
Oh, Balrash! It's the most beautiful version of Balrash I've ever seen.
We have
it's a little messy,
we have like
though.
little it's a real dump now. The pests have been here for a while, so we have these like little references dotted around the map. There's actually one here in the centre with a little billboard, and they all reference to different creators or streamers or modders or developers. And they're dotted around the map as like little thank yous or little shout outs to them for things they've done for the community.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. And that's another very unique thing, I think, in the DayZ community is how generous everyone is with sharing our communities with each other. You find some gaming communities where the content creators are kind of very like, I don't want to mention you. I don't want to set, that's promotion or whatever. And you find in DayZ, it's just, we all know, like, we love the game. And the more people that we can get to love the game, the better it is for us all, And
we
like
understand
to recognize each other's efforts as well. I love that. I absolutely love that. That's beautiful.
I have to admit, DayZ is top of my list for games that, when it comes to your ability to do things, your ability to share with other creators, and your opportunities that you can do with the game, it's right up there on the top of my list. Given us the open license that we have to edit and modify this game, it's brilliant. It's fantastic, and it allows you to do so many things with the game that most of the games just wouldn't be possible. Yeah,
that's true. That is true. So that kind of brings me to, what got you into map making and modding? You drink enough whiskey for every 10 minutes every weekend. I want records.
So when I really started getting into playing DayZ on PC, I started to float around a lot of different servers. Started,
an amazing liver.
Just started trying to find my feet. And one of the things that I would often come across was, that I'd go on one server.
I want you to
I'd know that,
get an
say,
X-ray
this shed
of your
is
liver
here.
and then sign it for me.
And then
so
I'd go and play on the same
wall.
map on another server, and this shed wasn't here. And I started to think, well, hang on a minute, how did they do that? Are you telling me they can just go in and delete what they want, or put it on there?
Thank you.
And I was like, well, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna.
Now I kind of want a collection of liver pictures of people.
So the first thing I went to go and do
really
was,
amusing on my hallway
try and get
wall.
some advice and maybe get some funky assets I could play with. And I started to discover a lot of paywalling. A lot of, you can have this information if you happen to be a level whatever subscriber, or you can have this mod if you give us this amount of money, and then you can only use it on here. And I started to think, well, hang on a minute, isn't this supposed to be open source?
Exactly.
And when I started figuring out how to do it, I was like, you know what? I want to do something here.
Thank you so much
for all the few
Glenn
people
Breakfast.
that didn't say, give us a tenner and I'll give you the information, and said, here, this is how you do it. And I wanted to start giving something back, so I started learning how to do basic modding. And it just sort of blew up from there. I sort of started thinking, do you know what? I actually really like doing this. This is really fun.
Well, it definitely is a good kind of creative outlet, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Ironically, when I first started, I compared map making to playing a more modern version of the original Sims.
yeah. It's funny because I play Planet Coaster, which is a theme park building sim, and there are quite a few people from the DayZ community who will actually surprisingly will come watch me play that game, but a lot of people also call it my map making game. Like, it's because, you know, we've all seen people make DayZ maps, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, some people just say, "Oh, this is your map making game, right?" And yeah, that basically is what it is. No.
I saw your DayZ themed theme park you made in there. That was absolutely fantastic. That's just mind-blowingly how, if you didn't know you were looking at Planet Coaster, you could think you're looking at a new map.
Yeah, well, it's I've had some requests. Hey, Poe, are you gonna make a map? And I'm thinking about it. I think that will have to be a winter project when I have no desire to go outside because it's cold.
Yeah, you've got a reason to sit in front of the computer all day.
Yeah.
I don't want to go out there.
Yeah. I won't be able to afford heat, so it's gonna be PC heat for me this year. That's right, John.
Oh, let's not get into that one. It's no better for us here either.
Yeah. It's yeah. And Germany gets cold. I mean, I know that England gets really cold too, but yeah, Germany gets freaking cold. I'm originally from Florida, so I'm not used to cold weather.
Oh dear.
But so that kind of brings me to my next question: is what exactly is Essiker 2.0?
So when I first started making the idea of the server for Mythos, and I'd started playing with maps, I had a bit of a hot list of the favourite maps that I'd ever played on, and it was Iztek, Namolsk, and Essiker. And I wanted to create something that wasn't just unique and different from every other server, but that other people would want to use and would want to make part of their server. And I looked at Namolsk, and Namolsk is well supported, well built, well updated, and I thought there's not really much that I'm going to be able to do for that other people aren't, you know, already working on. I looked at Iztek, and as much as I loved the map, it had some real issues with the way the map was designed, which made it unplayable for a lot of people. You just get sick of getting bottlenecked in the same place over and over again and getting killed. And then I kind of looked back at Essiker again, and I looked at the last time it was updated,
John,
and then realised that it had been
doing?
abandoned. And it had been abandoned a while ago. And I thought, well, why was it abandoned? You know, so I got it in the editor, I had a really good look at it, and I quickly realised that, well, yeah, it's heavily unfinished. It's basically half built. But it's such a beautiful, good-looking map. And I kind of thought, well, I'm going to finish it. I'm going to do my best of what my vision of I thought Essiker 2 would look like. And that's pretty much what this is. I've overhauled areas that were a bit useless or poorly designed, just wiped them off the map and rebuilt them. I've added massive amounts of new areas, and I've tried to address the fact that the map feels so empty. There was very, very long roads between towns that just had nothing, and miles and miles and miles of fields with nothing, and it made it feel boring.
This is cute.
So
I want to add this.
yeah, this is basically the
DayZ
finished version of Essiker. I think the final amount came out of 49,000 and something items placed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, are you able to change the map in that? Can you make it bigger?
Ooh,
Can you?
nice boobs.
Oh,
Well,
you've got
with
nice
Essiker
boobs
2,
too.
there's no real reason to make it any bigger. There's a massive amount of this map, even with Essiker 2, that is just completely blank.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing on it. But if you look at the
Yeah,
map
I'm
that
so
you get in like the
glad. I'm so
admin
glad that
tools,
you swung by.
you'll
I'm
see
doing
it's got
great.
all the
How are you?
terrain
Hey,
design.
Tony, what's going on?
But nothing
I
there,
love
no
that
grass, no
sausage roll.
trees.
Oh,
There's even a whole section of roads that just led to nowhere.
Wow.
They just went
There's
out
a
and out
lot
and
of
out and out
sounds in
for
my head.
kilometres upon kilometres upon kilometres. And there was no grass, there was no fields, there was no trees, just empty expanse. So
I never
Yeah, sorry.
realized it was that big.
it's actually a really, really big map.
Huh. For some reason, I always thought it was small. I guess because you tend to see, like, if you're watching streams, you tend to see people kind of in the same areas over and over and over
That's what she
again.
said.
Yeah, basically
God, this
Essiker
is so
had
good.
3 main areas that you would always see people, which would be Borosh, Essiker City, and Essiker Zoo.
Right, yeah.
The main reason being they were really the only points of interest that existed.
Okay.
There wasn't really anything else. So this area we're in now is this is completely new.
This is this is actually, I just took a screenshot of this because this is gonna have to go in my Daisy theme park.
Oh yeah,
This is gonna have to get recreated. I kind of have something similar already, and oh boy, this is great.
When we first come to this place, this was just water.
Oh, this is so
it was
good.
just a big lake. There was absolutely nothing on it, nothing around it, and it was just north of where you mainly spawn in Borosh, and it just seemed like such a waste.
This is a great freaking PvP area. Like if there were to be like a King of the Hill type tournament, holy shit, man!
Yeah, we actually did an event to test that.
Your face,
we built a base in this building here,
Hello,
and tried to defend it off.
Yeah.
And it went really well. The PvP that we got in this little section was phenomenal. The amount of places we were getting sniped from, or they were trying to snipe us from, the amount of places we could duck and dive and hide.
Cave.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, this is so cool. What a great arrangement.
Thank you.
I almost took a swim.
Yeah. Try not to jump off because the stairs are back there.
Yeah, I'll be swimming for a while, right?
So we tried to tailor it to everybody's taste as well. So one of the things that I identified a lot of people find really quite interesting in DayZ is caves and underground areas.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's something that not a lot of servers have, but those that do, it tends to be one of their most popular things about it.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So this is why we added this. This was the mod we found that had been made a very long time ago and been pretty much discontinued. So we revived it and turned it into this little loot vault.
Oh, that's so cool. This is really cool. This is stunning. And this is this available on the workshop yet? Or I know that you said you were still tinkering with it last week or the week before? You were getting ready for the big update, right?
Yeah, we had some system problems with an SSD going bad. And I didn't realise it was going bad, so it corrupted a lot of the files, and a lot of the stuff just disappeared or moved in location.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Yeah. But yeah, it's on the workshop now. It's been on there for, I think, about a week. Last check, it was around 750 subscribers.
And so how does it work? I'm not familiar with the modding or the map or the server running at all. So if you're a server owner, you just go to the workshop and you find which maps you want to put on your servers and you load them and boom, that's it?
Pretty much, yeah. You basically load the map in, you switch the map in your little selection, depending on how you're doing it. If you're renting, you tend to get a nice web interface that's one click. If you're dedicated like me, you go into your start back, which boots your server, and you change the map in there. With this mod, you load a mod called DayZ Editor Loader, and then you literally dump one file in, a DZU file, boot the server, and all of this will suddenly appear.
Wow. It's your birthday!
I tried to make it as simple as humanly possible.
You're 35 today!
Because if there's one thing that I did find about DayZ modding is a lot of the time it was overcomplicated.
Yeah.
It was made harder than it actually needed to be.
If you give me just 1 second, Dave, I've got a birthday in my chat, so I wanna sing him happy birthday real quick.
Yeah, you go ahead, because I'm going to run to the toilet, so I'll use that opportunity to do that.
Okay, cool. All right, Rizone! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Rizone. Happy birthday to you. 35. Wow. I remember when I was 35. It was 1892. I was still wearing a bustle and a crinoline and all of that. You know, women couldn't wear pants back then. I hope that you've had a really, really good day, and I hope that you continue. So do you like cake for your birthday? I mean, some people like a birthday pie, and some people like birthday cookies. Much better than Pommy.
Hello, everyone in chat. By the way, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just, not very good at multitasking, as we all know.
Yeah, definitely not. Say cake, goddammit. Say
No,
cake.
I don't have.
What's everyone's favorite flavor of cake? I'm very partial to pineapple upside down cake and Schwarzwald Kirsch. The Black Forest cherry cake is delicious. I hope you're streaming on my. Well, when is your birthday? If you tell me when your birthday is, I'll do my best. All cakes are your favorite. Genoa cake, cheese or carrot cake. Oh, Jocko. Every Thanksgiving, I make a homemade pumpkin cheesecake with I use Biscoff
Always
cookies
take
for the
peaches.
crust, and then
Always.
and I make a homemade
I don't know if you
caramel
noticed,
sauce,
there's
and
a
then
cool
rum
trick
spiked
we
whipped
did
cream.
with your spawning food. The can of bacon you spawn with is open and empty.
Yes, I started to eat it and I thought, what the hell happened to my bacon? It's gone. Cherry!
One of those evil little touches we put in.
March 16th. I will do my damn best to remember that.
Be a tad careful near here. We'll probably kill most of them. But there's usually a few zombies around here.
Okay, yeah. I do a lot of kind of like hardcore and survival servers, so the Zeds don't bother me at all. It's the PvP that makes me piss myself.
I've got a lot better at this PvP in the last month or so. And I'd like to say that there's like a big reason
like
behind
machine
it, like I've
cakes,
been practicing, or my skill levels just rose. But I just don't know why. I'm assuming it's just the amount of time I played the game.
Yeah, Choco, if you're at work, that could be a little dangerous. Yeah, I've gotten a lot better at it too. I still just get super nervous and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's shaky like no tomorrow, right? Okay.
Yeah, I get shaky
one,
and shivery.
Yeah. We're gonna go that way.
Okay.
And I'm gonna show you another new area.
Chaz!
This one was built
Holy
specifically
shit,
around
shit, Chaz, what are you doing?
around Mythos, Kyle Stargazer.
Thank you so much for the subs to Fresh Prince, to
it's
Mona,
Ethical
Clyde,
Tech
Zach,
headquarters, is what I named it as.
Bob. Thank you so much.
Basically, like it's my first
What's
ever
up,
attempt
Ethan?
at building an underground area.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, a new
Oh my god.
subscriber.
Thank you so much, Chaz. I appreciate that. And how the hell are you? Sorry. I got chat doing lots of noises in my
a
ear.
new
I'm sorry.
subscriber.
Studying the game.
Being on Twitch, your
There
chat
you go,
gets to
baby.
abuse you.
Yeah.
Ooh, a new
It's a lot of fun.
subscriber.
So that's awesome. Now you have this is the Legends of Essiger 2.0, and I see you talking on Twitter a lot about the Legends. Who are the Legends? Are they like a secret society, or can we know who they are?
No, they're not secret. They're really public. The Legends
Bye,
started
Shane.
off
I hope that
as
you have a wonderful rest of your evening.
It started
Hugs
as a
and
bit of a
kisses and
joke, to be
stars
honest.
for wishes. Yes, Ethan, that'd be
There was
fun.
a couple of us that wanted to spin off and start doing some mod work and development work.
When playing
We got
zombies,
together, and
guys,
obviously
it's
Mythos was
unfortunate
named as
guys.
the Legends of Mythos. So we named the first server, Legends Mythos. And we sort of sat down and went, well, what are we going to call
That's
our
amazing.
little, tiny development group we've got at the moment?
That's beautiful.
Well, why not just be the Legends? Why not just be Legends Development?
Okay.
And it took off quite big. Staff-wise, we have about 25, 30 staff members, about
Holy
40,
smokes.
50 developers. We've got mod creators, artists, graphic designers, coders, Linux expert, server expert, network expert.
Holy smokes! Like that's a legitimate enterprise. You are
Yeah,
one of the
our
legends.
expansion has been
Wow.
phenomenal to the point where
I honestly
I've
didn't
struggled
know it
to
was
keep
that
up.
big.
We currently have 8 active servers, another 4 in development.
Wow.
We intend to have a Legends tag on every DayZ map.
Holy smokes! That's monumental. So you must be the most organized person on this planet.
No.
Ooh,
No.
Chaz,
Most
thank you so much for
disorganized.
that gifted sub to Lead Breakfast. Oh my God, Chaz!
If it wasn't,
117 gift subs.
if it wasn't
that is
for my
nuts.
wife and the Legends and my community, I wouldn't be able to do half of what I'm capable of doing. I'm supported so heavily by them, to the point where we make jokes out of it now. You know, is Dave doing Dave things again? Yes, he's doing Dave things again. You know, you're supposed to be doing this, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's the really the only way to kind of make anything like this work. I mean, even with streaming, I have an entire team. I've got my mods, which I could not live without. They do so much more than shout outs and you know, they.
Yeah.
I'm not as tech inclined as some of them, and like one of them does little programming things for me, and there are artists that have very generously donated their skills. Like Yorkshire Pudding created my starting screen, and I've had some very generous friends do emotes. Like, it's an entire team that keeps any well-oiled machine running, and keeps us all kind of, you know, when we're supposed to be doing this or when we're supposed to be doing that. For those of us,
they're like a living post-it note sometimes.
Yeah, we're the idea people. We have those brains that are constantly thinking one step ahead of how we can operate and function.
Yeah,
he's super disorganized.
Yeah, totally agree. And
Keep him as organized
if any
as
content
you can.
creator sits there and says, "Oh no, I do this all myself. Everything was just done by me," they're probably
okay,
lying.
that's a good question, Kubek.
Because it's there is so much to do.
Oh,
that
sorry,
it's
Jocko.
almost too much for one person to take on alone.
Oh yeah.
And if you try, it's likely you're going to fail or burn yourself out. And burnout is such a real thing.
It is a very real thing. It is. I don't want to disrupt your train of thought, but I did have a question in chat. I don't want to. If it disappears, my brain will go, well, that didn't exist.
And it won't be there anymore.
What challenges are there to building in the underground? I mean, are there lighting issues while you're building, or how difficult is it?
It's extremely difficult. You see, unless you created the base core map yourself, you're going to start with a problem of you can't really alter the level of this terrain. You can only add or remove from it. So you first need somewhere that's going to be deep enough, big enough, to put what you want underground, essentially, and to make it look like it's, you know, not an obvious giant hole.
Thank
that
you
you've filled
so
in.
much. Chess,
On top of that, you get a lot of
doing?
lighting problems because as you begin to cover things, the game registers it as a solid object and blocks the light coming through it. So that can be a major issue. Another issue you've got is the way that placement works on Editor. Placement works by automatically trying to go to the ground level.
Thank you, Chess.
So if you're trying to, if like this goes quite deep underground. So trying to place all this on the top, every time I would place one item, it would appear right down at the ground beneath all these objects that I can't see through.
So wow. You must have a lot of patience then.
I'm not a naturally patient person, but with a lot of the editing, yes. I've found a whole new patient side of me, where it's almost like I can see roughly what the result is going to be like in my head, and I'm kind of working towards getting that vision, something that I can actually see physically. That's kind of therapeutic. It kind of makes it much easier to sit there and think, right, okay, this is almost the vision that I wanted. What am I missing? What did I think I wanted here that I don't quite have yet?
I think you can sum up a lot of DayZ that way. I feel like there's always a problem to be solved even in the gameplay. How do I get to this place? How do I survive? How do I eat? How do I craft this? What decision do I make in PvP? How do I know what decision the other people are going to make? So yeah, oh wow. Whoa, wow. Whoa. Look at this. You could have been a doctor.
Be very careful on the stairs. It's a very long way down.
Jocko. My gosh, this would be, wow, this is terrifying. Yikes. I could have been the doctor. I didn't have the credit score.
You just have to come to the left a little bit on that one. There you go.
Okay,
you got
okay.
It.
Funny thing is, the last
this is the
person
first. This is the first area I ever
built. Should I
built.
tell him? Is it weird? Would that
this
be
was me practicing my skills and trying to hone them and learning how to put little touches in.
Dave is streaming on YouTube right now.
That make a big difference to servers and maps. A lot of the time, it's not all this big stuff that that we've built that
There
really
is
grabs people's
always something
attention.
broken on Twitch.
It's the little things, like back here there's a pile of burning bodies.
That's disgusting. I love it.
Yeah. there's another place where there's a cage with a pile of bodies in it, and the cage is surrounded with cans of petrol. So it was kind of clear and obvious what was going to go on in there.
You were just gifted a sub in my chat.
Oh wow, thank you. Whoever gifted a sub, thank you. I can't come in and say it with text because my side system I use for my chat and my side supporting is running like an absolute piece of poo.
Who did that? Who did that? Because I didn't see it. Binksy.
Thank you very
oh my
much.
Gosh, Binksy,
I really
thank you
do
so much for the
appreciate it.
goodies. Yeah, it was a community member named Ches who actually has become a friend. He's a great guy.
Thank you, Chess. You legend.
Oh my
You
god.
get the word legend.
That almost made me fucking like.
So this is one of the things I played with, which I
Jesus
wasn't originally going to do
Christ.
because I'm more of a fan of hardcore servers.
Yeah.
So I added key cards and loot rooms. So in here there's a giant safe, which if you have the right card you can unlock.
No, I did not shit myself.
I spiced it up a bit by making some of them traps. So this is a prime example of one that's a trap.
Oh.
You open it, and when you open it, a massive alarm goes off. And you get the big chest inside, and you expect to get really, really amazing loot, like, top-tier guns and whatnot. And what you actually get in this one is clothing, backpacks, spare shoes, a couple of tins of beans. And 20 zombies spawn outside, 10 wolves and 5 bears.
Oh my god! That's evil! That is great. I love it.
The reason I did it is because this keycard room is so close to the initial spawn area.
Wolves, bears, says.
That if you do know where the keys spawn and you go and get that key, you're going to get quite cocky. Because you know that everyone around you is going to be, they're going to be freshies. So you're going to come here thinking you can get geared like no tomorrow and go and kill all the freshies off, and what you're actually going to get is slaughtered. And the next freshie that comes down here is going to find you dead and all this useful loot for them.
Wow.
DayZ
Wow.
at times has to be kind of evil because it stereotypically is at times a very evil game.
What happens if I open this door at the top of the stairs? Am I gonna spawn a bunch of wolves or something?
Or the at the top. Oh no, you're safe. That's just the upstairs decoration.
Oh, okay.
So each different colour has a slightly different style of decoration up the top. So this red one, bit of a clue that it's a murder factory. It's got a little kitchen and living area. That's usually a warning that it's quite murdery.
Oh. Oh, pretty much, friends, pretty much right off the bat when I joined. Yeah, we did click really good. Yeah, Chess, absolutely we did. Oh, I'm like, oh, I found the back door. Hello.
Ah, yes. The 2 doors, again, something fun you can do, which I've done a few times, is bring people down here. And exit as they're still in there, leaving 1 door open.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
They all come swarming in.
This is wild. Yeah, that is messed up. I like, you're kind of twisted. I really like that about you. I think we might be able to be friends.
You have to have a slightly twisted side. I mean, it adds a little spice in life. It adds a little bit of fun. If you're too nice all the time, you just become something to take advantage of.
Yeah. Don't I know it? This is really cool. This is God, this is amazing. Actually, I kind of want to have a party here. Like I want to have a rave here.
Yeah, this I was quite proud of this. It's
Oh!
it's not as polished as I'd like because
God
when I
dang.
first built this, I didn't know as much about modding and as much about map editing as I do now. So the resources I had were quite limited. This little green wall, for example, here. Back then I didn't know that I could place, using builder items, a large wall that had blocked this completely off. So that's actually a
okay.
wall from a bus station.
Yeah, I recognize that. That wall usually means clothes and sometimes food.
Yeah, Which it occasionally, actually, it has. Look, on the other side, it's spawned a shirt and a hat. Ironically.
Wow. And this is also just another one of those kind of PvP nightmare scenarios. If you get a couple of squads in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the mod has a lot of additional features, a lot of which are turned off on this server.
I'm so lost already.
So that loot room, for example, you can set it so it will. Sorry, brain crack for a second there. You can set it so it will inform everybody on the map that loot room has been open.
Oh, okay, okay. Kind of like the Deer Isle Vault.
Yeah, exactly the same. It'll pop up in the corner and it'll tell everybody that place has been opened. And you know that the people there. Sorry, Jack, if you try it now, your team viewer should work. I didn't realise I'd accidentally put your machine in standby. Sorry. I did a Dave.
Did a Dave. I like it.
Oh dear. This is one of the ones that was included in the beta. As a sort of taste of what I was trying to do.
Ooh!
Originally,
Like
on
a
original
football
Jessica,
game.
this is a
Thank you
cave
so much for the
with a
biddies.
crashed helicopter dangling in it.
Binksy,
And
I really appreciate
it was
that.
pretty
Thank you
cool
so
looking,
much.
but all in all, it was a bit boring. Wasn't really anything there. There wasn't any reason to come this far out to see it. And you could openly see behind it that the map sort of kind of ended a bit there.
Okay.
So you'd walk up and you'd see the end bit, and it just put you off. It just made you think, wow, you know, I spawned over there. I've been running for what, 10 minutes, and I'm at the edge of a map.
Right. Yeah.
And that's how people got the idea that this was really small.
Okay.
When actually, no, that wasn't even the end of the map. There's so much additional map out there that's just not been designed. So I wanted to kind of block that from your view, so that in future updates I can add to there without it really disrupting, you know, each release you do as you go down.
I get it. I understand. Just gonna open these beans real quick.
Oh, yeah, good idea actually. I'll open my spaghetti because I'm yellow still.
So, what was when you started? Did you have a plan to expand as much as you have? Did you plan for this Legends project to get as big as it has?
I didn't quite plan to place as many items as I did. I estimated about 30,000. And I went well over that. Mainly when I started making forests as well, and started adding my own design of forests. I've got one near Kula that I call the Forest of Terror. I've basically made it so densely packed that you can actually physically get lost in a very, very small space. One turn in there and you can't. There's no point of reference anymore. So you just end up going around in circles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But I did plan it. I did plan for it to be. I wouldn't say big because that's not really what I was going for, or popular. But I did plan for it to be used quite a lot by other server owners. I knew that a lot of other people that ran Essica servers wanted a very similar thing to what I envisioned with Essica, and they wanted almost the same size as Essica, almost the same feel as Essica, but we wanted much more there in Essica. We didn't want to have to travel one end of the map to the other end of the map, seeing absolutely nothing just to get to this one place, to then have to go all the way back and do it again. We wanted little interesting things to find, you know, we wanted to be able to do run after run after run and see things we never saw in any of the previous runs.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
I know
I mean, that's one of the reasons why I always kind of was like, Livonia is a pretty map, but there's not a lot there, and it's really big. So yeah, I think with the bigger maps, you've got to have those points of interest.
Yeah, you have to have those little things that, you know, you're going to stumble across and go, hey, that's cool.
Yeah,
Or those little things you played on one server. Like I was saying earlier, where you
David's
played on
streaming,
one
I have
server,
it linked right
and then you
here.
go and play on another server that's
Yeah,
got the same map, and then you
his,
suddenly realise
Twitch
that
link.
wasn't there the last
I
time
didn't
you played the
realize
game.
that he was on YouTube. Can
It
you?
sparks an interest in you. You kind of go, oh, hang on a minute,
If you whisper
What's
it
this?
to
This isn't
Sly
normal.
Bonnie, he can share it.
I'm going to go and have a look at this. And you spend your time doing it, which then, before you know it, you've been playing this same server for 4 or 5 hours.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I've had adventures of 8 to 10 hours on some servers with friends of mine.
Yeah.
When it's good, it's good. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you do it because you're enjoying it, and a lot of the time you don't actually notice that the time has gone that far before you go, oh, hang on a minute.
Right. Exactly. So, would you say that it takes for people who want to edit a map or even create a map from scratch, would you say it's something that's really difficult to do?
Who is it?
The create a map from scratch.
Oh, thank you so much for the follow.
I
Everyone knows
had some
Jack.
trouble with, and a few of the other legends have had some trouble with. A few of them have had some success with it now, and we are starting to sort of get a feel for it. So yeah, I'd say creating a map from scratch is not an easy thing to do at all. It's really quite difficult, and it's a huge
disabled.
workload. It is massive.
My mods can share links. So
She's way louder than you, buddy, just so you know. Oh, really? Sorry, mate. 2 seconds. Let me quickly alter the volumes. I didn't realise.
So if you just
Thank you very much, No Skills. You know what I'm like when it comes to... right, so if I go like that, and then turn mine up here, I'll put it back for me. There we go.
If you want to...
I'd say editing-wise, though, edit a map is not that difficult at all. It's incredibly easy, actually. Daisy Editor makes it so easy for you.
Welcome into the stream. Thank you so much.
I mean, I will admit that when you first use Daisy Editor, getting used to the controls can be a bit of an uphill climb because it doesn't really give you any kind of walkthrough. There's no real tutorial or introduction to it. So you don't really get... Oh, all the zombies have respawned. So you tend to have to watch a walkthrough or watch somebody else do it or get, you know, the list of controls. But once you've mastered the controls, yeah, it's incredibly easy. You can one-click delete things in a radius. You can spawn pretty much anything. The controls, once you've got the hang of them, as I said, are not that difficult to use. Getting used to what everything's called is probably one of your biggest things to get over when you're editing a map. A lot of things in this game have some very daft names, or names that just simply don't make any sense, and it can take you a while to get over that.
No, is Dave a lot louder than me? Okay, hold on. I'll adjust that. Okay, hold on. Give me just half a second.
Go ahead. Understatement is pressing gas. I like that. Pressing gas. I will come through my little village I made.
Yeah.
Just to break up the scenery.
Oh, I can't tab out. Okay. I'll have to adjust it in a minute. Other way around for you, is it really?
We have to go this way round because the bridge towards Tuck is off the block.
That is weird. Oh, okay.
I thought about moving the cars off it, but I like the fact that it forces you to go the other way round.
Yeah, yeah, and of course there's something else to do. It's something else to look at, something else to loot, something else that adds life and character to a map.
I'm just going to turn you up a tad because it's a little quiet for me now. There we go.
Thank
So
you
yeah,
much.
the
Thank
other
you so
reason
much,
I did
Jack.
it as well is it gives a separate route for people with vehicles and
Twitch
people
has
on
a
foot.
lot of moments.
So if you go the other way to
I
the side of
love
the
I
map,
love the
just as you're coming
campfire.
through Tuck, the bridge is blocked in such a way a car can't get past that.
Right.
So you know people aren't going to be tracking you using vehicles. So it gives those that want to get over there but don't want to drive a way to get over there without the risk of, of being running down the middle of this road right now
Right.
and getting squished by the guy who's laughing hysterically.
Well, yeah, that's always fun. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I don't even go back and loot them. I'm just like,
Yeah, just leave him.
Just because it's post-apocalyptic doesn't mean that somebody's not going to figure out how to get a car running again.
Yeah.
Stay out of the road!
I always said that even in the apocalypse, somebody's going to know how to get a car running again. Someone's going to know how to fix a bicycle. Of course.
Oh, absolutely. I could do it. I can do anything on a car. Yeah. I'd have no problem with that.
I do wish they would. I mean, I know they added the Humvee, or they're going to add the Humvee with 119, but I do wish we had a better selection of cars for Vanilla Daisy. To be honest,
Yeah.
it's a bit limited.
It is a little, yeah. I do like the Land Rover is a great mod. You can get them so fast too.
Yeah, they really shift, don't they?
Oh, I love it. Yeah,
it's brilliant.
And
one of my go-to vehicles.
I like the kind of quirky ones too, like the shopping trolley ones and the go-karts.
The trolley cart.
Those are all
That's
so
hilarious.
much fun. I feel like that's part of what makes Daisy very unique in this genre is the quirks. I think the quirks attract a certain type of player. And yeah, we've got the serious PvPers, but pretty much everybody that I run across also just likes to have fun and be goofy and be quirky and be silly. And I feel like it's kind of that stuff that attracts that type of person to this game.
Yeah, I totally agree. When I'm feeling like I just want to be a bit daft or a bit, I'll go into one of these highly modded base building servers, and I'll just go mess about and I'll build a stupid base and I'll get the BPP letters and put my name on the wall and park 4 trolley carts outside and generally mess about.
I think that's what's great is you can go for any mood. I mean, if I'm wanting some pretty intense PvP, then I might hop on like Spaggy's. That's vanilla. You're struggling for everything, and people are out to get you. And if I want to do something a little bit kind of silly, then I'll go on a really highly modded server. And if I want to shoot dinosaurs for a really weird reason, then there are dinosaurs.
Weird things like dinosaurs and aliens. Oh!
Whoa!
No! Really loved that.
Excellent. So
it's still running. It's fine.
What is your favorite mod then that you have, that you use, or that you've encountered?
Favorite mod out of all of them?
I know it's hard, right?
Yeah, it's a hard decision.
Well, there was a con.
I'd say that it's one I don't actually use that much myself because it's not that popular. But Keep It Dead. That's got to be my favorite mod of all time.
Is that the one that turns the dead player into a Zed like immediately?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That is see when I first saw this game and I first started playing on PlayStation, I genuinely thought that was going to be a thing. I thought, when you die, wouldn't it be cool if all of them zombies were real people? And you don't get the gear that they had when they died.
Yeah.
And I was a bit gutted when it turned out.
Hell yeah,
no,
Metallica.
It's not actually part of the game at all.
I love Metallica.
So when I saw the mod and tested it and realised it worked, I was like, that is awesome and adds a whole different aspect to the game. You're going to be thinking about, am I going to shoot that guy in the face? Because if I do, he's probably going to come back.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to try and kill me.
Oh yeah. And they instantly attack too. Like there's the first time I encountered a server that had that mod, I was running with Slangani and he died. And he instantly turned into his Zed and came after me, and I was like, oh my god! What the hell's going on? Oh, what's up, Dr.
Sorry.
Scandalous?
Car broke down. Oh yeah, the radiator's at
Dave's
it.
your best buddy. LC without him, I would not
that's the end
be
of that
here.
one.
I am now. Our 3 servers doing it. Oh, that is
He got
awesome.
to Western City though.
Yeah, he seems
did well.
to be like a super
Goodbye, my old
generous, beautiful
Rust
soul.
in peace.
Rest in peace. I like it. So what do you think is the most frustrating thing about modding a map?
Core updates. You can work your absolute butt off modifying a map, adding really cool mods to the server, getting it exactly how you want, and then the new version of DayZ comes out and it just breaks half of it.
Yeah.
You've then got to go back through and try and either repair or replace it, and it can be so frustrating because you know for a fact that this worked before, there was no problem with it before, and you really don't want to substitute it because that's not the vision you had. The vision you had is what you had running. and now what you have is, slightly broken, and it's frustrating.
So when an update happens, does each person who made a mod have to go and update their mod, and then you have to go update all of those updated mods on your map?
Kind of, yes. If the mod isn't fully compatible with the new update, then yeah, they've got to go manually update it. Then you've got to take the update and update your server with it.
Some food.
And a lot of the time,
you have a great
they don't
evening
actually
if I
know
don't talk to you
whether
again,
it's
Jocko.
going to
Thank
break
you so
or
much
not.
for stopping by.
They may have tested it in
Hugs and
experimental,
kisses
it'd be
and
absolutely
stars,
fine in
flashes.
experimental, and then when the final release is pushed, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's
I love
it's
these
one of the most
industrial
frustrating
buildings.
parts. That and Daisy being Daisy and being Daisy.
Regards to Bradford.
If
is
your file corrupts, it's just infuriating. It will drive you absolutely insane. Why is there a door there? Why is there 2 doors there?
I
I think
mean,
somebody has been here.
looks like it.
Yeah, I'm going to say someone's been here. I'm just checking the car really closely because I was half
okay.
expecting there to be like a landmine
I thought
next
somewhere
to
in
it.
Yorkshire. I thought somewhere. Oh, there's. Oh. Well,
Yes, this is the chop shop. At the moment, this has a bug. All of these tables are supposed to be filled with gas canisters and spark plugs, and these containers are supposed to be filled with car parts. And this is somewhere where a lot of the players would come and, as quickly as they can, build a car up and use it to get to the other side of the map. At the moment, it's got a spawn bug, which,
Stop it.
although we can fix, I'm expecting it to come straight back with 119.
Being a
So
shit.
I decided, you know what? I'm going to leave it until 119 comes out. It's also the one that's going to fix this hilarious door bug too.
Oh, it's like a book.
Yeah, it's like a book
It's
of
like
doors.
a book of doors.
I half considered when the update came out just leaving it there just for shits and giggles.
It's hilarious. It is. You just watch somebody open door after door after door
Yeah,
after door
it's
and
like,
get
what?
more and more pissed. It
All
just-
of the police vehicles do it. So
Oh.
it's just
That's amazing. That's awesome.
not a bug, it's a feature. Let's not go right just because of them zombies will flank round.
Okay. Did you put all of these bridges across these buildings, or is that
No, that's an Essica thing.
okay?
Essica has always had these like homemade bridges connecting the rooftops up. So when the server's quite highly populated, wandering around this area as we're doing now is really, really not recommended.
Yeah, I mean,
you-
I could
you
see
will get popped.
advantages and disadvantages to being up there.
Yeah.
Actually, this is kind of cool, isn't it?
This is
it's got a
Essica
cool
City
view.
was one of the best built places that Essica Beta had.
It's
It was a
such
shining
shit.
example
It
of
is.
what the remainder of Essica should look like. It's one of the areas in Essica that inspired me to take this challenge on, because I was like, this is beautiful. This is so well put together, and it just screams post-apocalyptic. It just
Yeah.
screams the end of the world.
It really does. It does. It has that people are still here, and they're learning how to adapt and survive. Feel good
Yeah, it
evening,
has that
Citron.
weird vibe where
How you
it's-
doing?
You know, people are here and just
Welcome
clinging on
in.
desperately.
Wonderful
I mean,
to
little
see you.
touches like the tree growing out of the ground in front
Yeah.
of the car abandoned petrol
Yeah.
station.
Yeah, and I
Something
love
so
the
simple.
I love all the overgrown areas and the roads too. That's
Well, this is something we've done and a mod.
please work.
We combined a
Streamlabs
mod
was
called
giving me
More
hell
Grass,
earlier, but I did update this
and then
mod.
we
There it is.
created some edits that basically into more
Except Dave is on
areas and
YouTube,
more
not Twitch.
into more references, basically. So that meant that a lot more of the place become
Interesting.
overgrown. You began to get a lot more grass and such growing out the cracks in the road and the paths. And
So he is the creator of
gives it this-
Essica
this nature
2.
starting to take back over feel.
Yeah. It's in the kind of beginning stages. I mean, we're not 100 years ahead, but it doesn't take too long for the small things to start.
Yeah, you know, the things that aren't being maintained anymore, like the grass on the edge of the road being a lot taller, is the kind of thing you'd expect to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas Daisy in general is often a little prettier than it should be. It should be a bit more run down.
So, I mean, it's perfect, I think, for a creative person. You at first glance, you don't realize that Daisy is a creative person's game, but it really is. It's a puzzle solver's game, and it's a logical person's game, but I really think at its core, there's so much creativity that goes into it, especially with the modding and the map making. There are so many talented modders out there in the community.
Oh, yeah,
it's
there's
absolutely
some people
insane.
are just phenomenally good at it. I mean, like, insanely good at it. And one of the things that I've realised in the past few months, after I started getting known in the modding community and known in the Daisy community, was that a lot of these modders, a lot of these creators and map makers weren't actually as big and as popular as I thought they were. It was like I kind of suddenly realised that no, these people aren't getting millions of views. They're not getting millions of subscribers. They're getting hundreds.
Yeah.
But they're still continuing, and they're grinding on, and they're still putting their entire passion into Daisy. And, you know, it's like they're not doing it for clout. They're not doing it for views. They're not doing it for a monetary gain. It was like, wow, that's not what I'm used to. I mean, that's my principles all over. That's me 101.
Right, right.
But in most of the games and most of the communities, that's not what's going on. You know, they're doing it for clout. They're doing it for views. They're doing it to boost their channels and their content creation. That is their prime aspect for doing it. Everything else is a secondary. Whereas in DayZ, no, it's all about the game. It's all about the mod. It's all about the creativity and the players. That's what they care about more than their own clout and what they're getting out of it.
Well, I think we have a bit of a sandbox too. You know, it's a kind of a gift that we've been given that allows all of this crazy customization and for people, I think that's one of the reasons why people develop such a passion for this game is because it's a bit like it's like violent Minecraft, isn't it? Like you have this kind of blank canvas that you can mold and build to kind of your heart's content.
Yeah, I completely agree that this is it's essentially a sandbox, and it's a really, really open sandbox, and a lot of other games and a lot of other game developers just don't give you anywhere near this freedom. You know, they're very limited on what they will and won't let you do.
Well, right, and it comes down to like that they don't want somebody else to put their fingerprints on their vision. They want it to remain
exactly
like. Being an artist is very much that way. I think sometimes you create this art, and you don't want other people to come smudge it up with their grubby hands. But I feel like the devs at DayZ are very generous that way. I feel like they are excited to see what other people will do with their idea.
Yeah, it's they're very open about their humble beginnings and their background and where this game came from, and. You know, that they started as a mod. It started as, you know, a development of something else. And it was very successful. And it's something that they want to keep going because at the end of the day, a game that is supported, created and developed by its players will always be a popular game.
Oh yeah, because people you take ownership of it, and you nurture it, and you take pride in it. It becomes part of you. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that a lot with the Legends. The pride that a lot of the developers have over their servers, and the map mod and the mods that they've made is phenomenal. The prime one to mention is Lead. Lead Breakfast. He is so proud over the servers that he's made. They're literally like his babies. He's on there every day doing another tweak, another fix, another change, another edit. He's making sure everything is exactly balanced as it should be. Probably one of the Legends of Eden is probably one of the best servers I've ever played. It is so well balanced. It's amazing. It's almost addictive. It's that well balanced.
Ooh, Legends of Eden. So is it the same like yours? Or do they all have the same thing like this one is Legends of Essekar?
Yeah. We have a few that don't run the Legends tags. They're partnered servers.
Okay.
But all the ones that are developed by staff members or real integrated people in the Legends community all carry the Legends tag. So I'll try and get them all up, but I guarantee I'm going to miss some. There's Legends of Essekar, Legends of Rosto, Legends of Deer Isle, Legends of Eden, Legends of Cherno, Legends Deathmatch.
Oh, I love Rosto. I haven't played that one in a while. That's a good map.
Rosto is one of the few American-based servers that we have. We have a spin-off group called Legends USA.
That would be very high ping for me, but I play on high ping servers. I don't care.
Well, the main reason that we agreed to have a Legends USA spin-off
it is
was
a thirsty
that,
character. This is nuts.
We have a lot of players in America,
like,
in areas like Florida, and the ping for them on the UK servers is pretty high.
Yeah.
So having one or two American-hosted servers was a bit of a no-brainer. Because now, if they do have, the kind of machine that struggles to play at high pings, they have a local server they can play. And the developers they've got in Legends USA are phenomenally good. They have their lead developer is Serragon, who is one of the original people behind Essekar.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so they're spearheaded by one of the original creators of Essekar, and Legends UK is spearheaded by me. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of communication that goes on between us. A lot of shared ideals and ideas. It's kind of ironic how much the Legends have expanded. We have Legends UK, we have Legends US, and then we have our own Legends charity as well. Legends Health and Wellbeing charity.
Oh wow! So where can people find the information for this?
See now. Oh, wrong way. I'm not very good at promoting or advertising, so most stuff ends up being word of mouth.
Oh, okay.
To be honest.
Okay.
However, the charity do host. They do host events, which is the main reason people get to hear about the charity. The last one they did was a stream snipe event held on Essekar 2 and I think it's this way. Held on Essekar 2 and the Rosto server to raise money to help pay Mythos' medical bills.
Okay, I think I remember that. That was just a couple of months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a couple of months back, and it was quite successful. I think we raised about $1,400.
Yeah.
Which, when it comes to medical bills, it's substantial.
Oh yeah, it is. Medical bills are no joke.
Yeah, I have to say I'm blessed to live in the UK and have the NHS.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without it, and with all my disorders and illnesses, I don't think I could have afforded to live in most countries, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's so yeah, having that charity, that's really so. I mean, you do a whole lot for the community, and I suppose that just must fulfill something in your soul for you.
Yeah, I have a
very
strange
what's
outlook
going
on life, to be honest. Part of it is the autism and the ADHD and the like, but a part of it is just it's just how I've structured myself and how I want to be. I wasn't always a really nice, sort of great person. I was a bit of a shithead, to be honest. Mind the language.
You've seen my stream, right?
yeah, good point. I woke up one day and didn't like what I was. I didn't like what I was at all, and I didn't want that to be me.
Right.
it didn't make me happy. It made me depressed. It made me, you know, and I thought, well, what can I do to change this? Really? You know, is there something specific I can do to change this? And then eventually I just thought, well, not really, no. You can't just change who you are. You can kind of change what you want to be, but you can't change who you are. So I just decided, you know what? I'm going to try and be better. I'm going to try and, you know, aim towards being, you know, what I want to be rather than what I am.
I'm interviewing
And
everyone
I quickly
knows
realised
Dave.
that when I did these weird things, it would
I'm
make me
doing well,
feel
thank you so
really
much.
good. It would make my coffee taste good. It'd make the sun shine brighter. It'd make me dance to my favourite tunes. It'd make me bob my head when I'm walking around with my
He's on
headphones on.
YouTube. I've got to get
just
the
feel
YouTube
great.
link again.
And I kind of thought, well, maybe that's all there is to it.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, it's that kind of moment of becoming self-aware.
Yeah.
Sometimes we realize I much like you, I've kind of always had an idea of the kind of person that I wanted to be, and it was completely opposite of the kind of people that raised me. So like, but I would catch myself in my late teens and early 20s kind of being that way and like, wait a minute, what are you doing? This isn't the direction that you want to take. And yeah, when that light bulb goes on and you realize, oh wait, it really is not that hard. And everything does improve. It changes everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. It makes a massive difference to your life. And you suddenly start to realise, you know, hang on a minute, I can carry on doing this, I can control this in such a way that I can literally be what I wanted and intended to be. And yeah, it's kind of hard to describe.
He has got a
to be
gorgeous
honest.
soul, y'all.
But yeah, I get a really, really warm feeling,
Yeah.
you know, and
You can just tell he's a warm.
it's I'll write a sign because I think I've gone the wrong way. I'm sure I've gone the wrong way now.
Oh, we're taking the tour, the grand tour of Essaker.
A lot of the time, one of the things that I realised is information is free.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
And
Rat Pack, don't worry about it. I never
information
knew that either.
Can be worth so much to somebody that, you know what, giving that information away for free when it couldn't be got elsewhere can actually make a massive difference to somebody.
Yeah, we're taking the scenic route.
It can make the day, it can make the week, even the month.
Yes, exactly. That's why I always say, you know, there's so many things that I'm ignorant of, but that's okay. Ignorance is curable. All you need is information.
Yeah. There's no such thing as a stupid person. Merely an uneducated person.
Yeah, and you can sometimes decide that you don't want to be educated, of course, but that's not stupidity. That's standing in your own way.
Yeah, there is ignorance in bliss. There is bliss in ignorance.
Yeah, sometimes there is. Yeah, sometimes you find something out and you're like, damn it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just don't want to know the
I
information.
don't want to know that, right? Yeah.
I've always been a terrible cook, and a bit of a liability to the point where I was pretty much told to not go in the kitchen anymore. You know, I had to get someone else to do it. And that's a prime example. I don't want to learn how to cook. I don't want to learn how to use kitchen utensils. I'm not good with them. I don't like doing it, and I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, though, and but that's okay, isn't it? Because you still have ways, even if you don't want to learn how to cook, you still have ways to feed yourself, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I've got great people around me. My wife loves cooking.
See, that's a good match.
Yeah, it's a win-win there, because, you know, I'll start doing something, she'll just come in and go, just get out of the bloody kitchen.
Yeah, no, that's kind of me too. That there's not a whole lot of areas in my life where I need to have control, but the kitchen is definitely one of them. Like, go in there, do whatever you need to do. Just leave the dishes on the counter. I'll wash them because you're not going to do it right anyway. I'm just gonna. I have a very specific way I like my kitchen. Like, the rest of my house, there's always like Legos on the coffee table and coloring books in the corner, and I don't really care. I need my kitchen to be maintained in a certain way so that I can go in there and cook.
Yeah,
You
I
were cook
feel
for
like my
13
desk
years,
is.
but it made you picky about
It's a
your- I mean,
collection
you
of
do.
organised chaos. That's the best way of putting it.
I
I've got power supply adapters and graphic adapters and packs of batteries.
That's creative people. I mean, my streaming studio is in my sewing room. So, like, it's just, usually it's a freaking wreck in here.
Well, we live in a very, very, very small place. So, for us, pretty much everything's in the one room in the living room. So it's a bit of a
cooking
chaotic
and
environment.
experimenting, but oh my god, Dr.
To be
Scandalous,
fair.
I'll have
But
to do a
it's,
baking stream.
It's
You
strangely
can give me all
comfortable
your
and
baking questions
strangely
and I can demonstrate how to
strangely
fix
welcoming.
them. I love baking.
We've laid it out really well, so you feel
I can
really
bake
quite
anything.
comfortable when you're in
Yeast
here.
breads,
You
quick
kind of
breads,
feel like
cakes,
you want to jump
pies,
on one of the
donuts,
systems
cookies.
and play a game or do some editing or do something. Turn that audio down a bit. Quicker! Corner's coming. So that area we were just in is another added area.
Okay.
That was essentially a dead-end road.
And now there's a little bit of a purpose to it.
Yeah, there's like a little church and a little petrol station and a shop and a little place where the church guy would have been living. I can't remember the word gave me, priest. Church guy.
The church guy. That worked for me. I was not questioning it. Cue the ignorance.
Yeah, you do.
So,
Oh, don't tell me I've gone the wrong way again.
what is your other than Essiker, which you've been giving your love to for a while? What is your absolute favorite DayZ map to play on?
Namalsk.
Namalsk. Namalsk is a cruel mistress. I love Namalsk.
Yeah. I love Namalsk because every time you go on Namalsk, what you're doing is signing yourself up for death.
Yeah.
You're going to die. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah, Namalsk seems to be the only one where I don't really get like that gear fear. Everything is just, oh dear me. That appears to have not gone well.
Yeah, we might have wanted to put some water in the radiator.
Sometimes that helps.
Yeah. Some say that water helps with radiators.
Odd how that is. Got a friend, chef, who loves it.
On the plus side, it doesn't mean I know where I am.
He has made the 2.0.
So I do know which direction I'm now
the
traveling.
2.0, not the original. Oh, the city is underwater. Oh, I have never made it this far before whenever I've played Essiker. I end up dead, and then dead, and more than dead, and then dead, and then dead. And then
This is the sunken part of Essiker.
yeah, this is really cool.
I'm really big fan of this area. We've done a lot of editing on this area as well. It was cool when it started, but it lacked a few things. It was a little on the bare side. So we decorated it up, added more sunken cars, a few extra buildings, and tried to make it look like it was not always flooded.
Yeah, it's oh yeah. This is really, really cool. So what's your favorite building in DayZ? We all have one of those buildings that every time we see it, we're like, yeah, that's my building.
Police stations.
Ooh, the more rectangle-y ones or the
Yeah.
yellow square ones?
The yellow square ones. I really like the yellow square ones. A lot of base servers won't let you
Sap
build in it,
Daddy,
which is
what's
a bit of a
up?
shame, because it's one of
Is
my
that a
go-tos.
Sap Daddy?
I love building in the police station because it's so pesty. It's hilarious.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
It's easy to block off. You've got multiple exits. You've got the roof which you can snipe off, which annoys the F out of people. And it's always one of those buildings that everybody beelines towards.
It is true.
Like, oh, we'll go to the police station and get
Let's
some
go to
guns.
the police station. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
like, and it's like I very rarely ever find anything in a police station that's worth anything, but it's always like, let's go, let's get some.
let's go. We'll find something good at the police station. You never
Yeah.
do, but
Every time. It never fails.
oh dear.
Yeah, the police station's definitely a good
Oh,
one. I have very fond the hunting cabins. Yeah, the hunting cabins are great for loot.
Yeah.
I love the Mustache House. I've had a base in the Mustache House for a very long time on another server that my friend runs, and We had a lot of fun.
One of the weird things that I found when I first come to DayZ was the weird names
Stepdaddy?
people give for everything.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to learn those call-outs, don't you? And just when you think you've learned them all, somebody comes up with a different name for it, and you're like, huh? What?
Yeah. I'll meet you with the double red. What's the double red?
Right. Right. And then there's like the stilted houses, but I would consider those like raised foundation houses, not stilted, but that's what they're called. So I have a question from chat.
Go ahead.
If you have sex with a possessed girl, is it called a threesome? Wait. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on how many people she's possessed by.
Yeah, I was going to say, one, how many people are they possessed by, because that might affect it, and two, no, I think it would be a virtual threesome.
Yeah.
I don't think it is a threesome, I think it's more of a virtual.
Virtual. I like it.
If you get off with 2 bots, did you get off with 2 bots? No, technically you virtually got off with 2 bots.
You got Kalimba from your local Renaissance Festival.
Oh dear.
Possessive threesome.
Not an odd question at all.
That's hilarious.
Oh, dear.
Ches! Jeez Louise! Ches!
We'll just we'll swim across.
I can't put you on the naughty step right now because across. Yeah.
English.exe stopped working.
Yeah, English is so hard. Spicing up the chat. I mean, I guess it's after dark.
English is my native language, and even I can't speak it properly.
Right, exactly. Especially considering there's our English, there's UK English, there's Canadian English, and yeah.
Yeah. It's so confusing. I love how translators do it as well. What English would you like this translated into?
Right.
English,
exactly.
please.
Can we just all agree on one? Because none of them make sense. It doesn't matter.
None of them are any better than any other. None of them make sense. Can we just amalgamate them into one, please?
Yeah, wait. Let's just separate it. Everyone, we all have the accents. They're never going to change. They're always going to be different. But we can at least try to conglomerate the English.
At least try to get it similar. I mean, come on.
As long as
nowhere else has this. Nowhere else has English French and German French and Dutch French. It's French.
Do you speak English or American English? What?
How do I tell? How do I check? I'm just going to nip to the toilet. I do apologise.
Yeah, no problem. All right, chat. What's going on, y'all? Are y'all having a good time? I'm having a good time. I have got one hell of a thirsty character right now. American English for you. English is England. Right. Exactly. English is in England for the English, and American English is in American for the American English. Do you play kicky football or do you play throwy and runny football? That's the question. That's how you know which country you're in. So, chat, while I've got y'all here, I can tell you that coming up, we do have interview with TSP Bobby. That's going to be on the 16th. And Happy Bombs has said that he will allow me to interview him, so I don't have a date for that yet, but that will be coming up. I'll also be interviewing Derleth, who's another server owner. Okie dokie. And we have
a lot of bowel and bladder and digestive related disorders, so going to the toilet a lot is something that is just, I have to do it, so.
Yeah, just a part of living, isn't it? That's okay, no worries.
Yeah. You know, I'm also
quite
a heavy smoker, and I do quite like a drink. And I'm one of the few people that I think does it quite a lot on stream. I'm very... What's the best way to describe it?
I have a date planned for you.
I'm a firm believer in you shouldn't hide things like that.
When is ours, Ches? Oh, I do!
When you do, that's how it becomes a problem.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. That reminds me of something that one of my kids told me when they were quite young. It was really funny. I said something about, oh man, I want to have a beer, and then I was like, maybe I won't. And they went, oh Mom, you're not alone and you're not sad, so there's nothing wrong with it. Go ahead, have 3.
I like that. You're not alone and you're not sad.
I know, and I'm like, what? Where did you get that? I mean, you know, they're little sponges. It's amazing what they'll pick up when you don't realize they're even picking up anything.
Oh dear. So that red tower you see there with the windmills in the distance,
Yes.
that's the extension to Adela Airfield. So this airfield here was already here. But
Chaz,
when we
that
first
sounds
looked
like
at it,
me.
it was
I need to-
pretty bare. Like, really bare. And it didn't really
Oh,
make
I
sense
remember
of how
why.
it was that bare, but that close to Esker City.
Right.
So we decided to make it
Because I
a bit
still
of a
haven't
focal
gotten my
point, a bit of an
November
interest
schedule.
point.
Right.
So this area we're only actually going to be able to see so much of because we don't currently actually have the card to
I
get
can't
in
do
there.
November dates yet.
The whole area is blocked off with a keycard door.
Oh.
As you can probably see now, it's got giant walls all the way around
Wow. Yeah, because I've been waiting for that. I got a job. I've been waiting for my background check to go through so I can start the job. So I don't have.
it. Oh, watch you right.
Oh, there's just a few friendlies that welcome us to the area.
Yeah, just a couple of the local greeters. Sadly, they've been fired from Asda now. They don't greet you at the door of Asda anymore. I always loved that. I mean,
No,
seriously,
I
they'd
thought
be
I
like,
had-
"Oh no, we've got to
That's
raise
what
the
goes in
prices
here,
because
right?
you know, costing us
Oh,
more
3
money."
rates.
You're
Fine.
paying a guy minimum wage to stand at the door and go, "Hi, welcome to Asda. Hi, welcome to Asda."
Right.
I mean, you know.
Look, I'm rolling up into places like that with like sweatpants and a t-shirt on and my hair all up on top of my head. I really don't want anybody looking at me, let alone talking to me.
I have a terrible problem with self-image. I
can relate
have to
to that.
physically concentrate
Substitute teacher.
when I'm going somewhere where I know I need to have
A
a good,
substitute
you know,
teacher,
physical
I've been hired
self-image. Because
for,
I'm
um,
exactly like that. I will bang on a pair of tracksuit bottoms, throw on a t-shirt, forget to brush my hair.
We've got some poltergeist loot here.
Yeah, I just spotted that. I was just going to kill the zombie, then come back and have another look. It might be a bad reference in my POS, because there's some definite haunted loot going on here.
So yeah,
This is
I've
Bit on the strange side.
got hired for the
Not
substitute
100%
teacher.
sure. Might have to look into my XML files for that one.
It's just Daisy being Daisy. Oh, beans.
Yeah, floating beans. These are extra special beans. Look, you can open them while floating.
I like it.
Possessed beans.
Yeah, but I also applied
Oh,
for.
but it drops to the floor when I open it. That's
I also applied for
that's not unusual at all.
a writing job with Stars
Oh,
and
dear.
Stripes, which is a military, like a U.S. military newspaper.
So
And I
this
got an
is
email
as
today
far as
saying
we're
I
gonna be
was
able to get,
referred
because
to
we
the
don't
hiring
currently have a key
manager.
card.
That doesn't mean I even remotely have a chance,
but this is the main
at
door
least I
entrance
was
to it.
referred to the hiring manager. So
And essentially, once you
Ooh.
get through here, you actually get access to this little area, which has got loads of little funky decoration things, some reasonable loot, and one of the best keycard rooms on the map.
oh wow, okay, ooh,
To make it slightly more evil, the keycard room in there is the same colour keycard as the door, but you can only use each keycard once.
ooh, evil.
Yes. So a lot of the
People
time,
are
what
running
happens
into random
is people will
strangers
come
who are
here and
nowhere
open
near
this,
the
not
store.
realising they need a second card.
Nice boobs.
Oh, you've got nice boobs
That will
too.
then
Thank
be swiped up by the next person who comes along with a purple key card, realizes the door's already open, and well, yeah.
That is that's really good though, because you're making layers. You're not completing the game in like 30 hours and then moving
Yeah.
on to the next thing. You have to keep coming back for it.
You have to
And
keep
people
coming back
love
and
these
keep trying.
missions. Like a lot of people loved like the Lantia and the key cards and the oil rigs. Like people love the missions.
Yeah. So what I was thinking of doing as well is I'm going to probably pop my admin tools on in a minute and confirm that we're the only people on the server.
Okay.
If we are the only people on the server, I shall
to keep coming.
zip us to some other
You
interesting
have
things we
to.
did, rather than forcing us to run the entire length there. As
okay.
It might take some substantial amounts of time.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah.
So let me just have a look now
Okay.
on Okay, player managers. Yeah, it's just us. Okay, so let's take me back to Ball Rash.
Ball Rash! So yeah,
I'm gonna go.
I got an email today
there.
saying that I was
And then
referred,
hold on to your hat.
which is a big deal to be referred.
Bring to
that
me.
doesn't even mean I'll get an interview, but if I do, I would much rather
Look at that.
have the
Absolute
writing
magic.
position. Because a writer is what I am. Woo! Yay!
The power of admin tools.
Woo-hoo!
So what we're gonna do is remember when we were in this cave
Yes.
and there was a door in there.
The wolf bear zombie door, yeah?
Yeah, well, this one isn't actually a wolf bear zombie door. This one takes us to somewhere that it's unfinished at the moment, but you get the vibe of what it was trying to create.
Ooh.
This is where I start to play with what can be done outside the actual map area. So how you can manipulate the game to trick the player into thinking they're somewhere where they're not.
I'm so intrigued and excited. Ooh, okay. I love a good mystery and I love a good secret.
Also, you get to see. Remember earlier I was talking about references to different creators and different modders and things. You'll get to see another one of them in here as well. I kind of breezed over the ones in Esker City because I got myself lost in Esker City again because I've got a real bad habit of doing that.
Yeah, I have the same thing in kind of like all the bigger Daisy cities. I'm like, oh, crap.
Yeah, 2 turns and that's it. All the buildings look the same now.
Yeah, that's essentially it. Or I'll be looting down a row of houses and I'll be going zigzagging across the street and then forget which way I was going. Poop pellets.
Okay, so we're going to need a green key card to open this one. Magically make one of them appear. There we go. We'll pop that in here.
So do you find that owning a lot of servers and stuff, like, is it like a full-time job?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say I'm blessed that I do what I do. That I've got the time to do this.
This is so good!
Yes, owning this many servers is pretty much a full-time job. So this is, if you're wondering, that is a picture of me.
I love it! I was assuming. I love it! This is so good!
This is actually a store, a trader on Legends of Eden. Led made a trader based around me. He only buys and sells interesting old technology like floppy disks and Pokemon cards and Game Boys.
I'm loving the Game Boy and the floppy disk! It's so good!
Okay, so I'm going to drop the key card for this one. I'm going to let you do this one first. So if you pop that key card in that door, if you look at where it says DNA key card in white, there's a little slot there. There we go. We'll let it read it and pop it out.
This is the first time I've ever done this! This is the first time I've ever gotten to use a key card. I'm so excited! Whoa!
Ah.
Whoa! I'm very alone in a field.
Yeah, something went horribly wrong here.
Oh! Wait, no, everything's rendering in. Whoa, I'm not in a field anymore. Wait. Oh, dear.
Right, yeah, sorry, there was a weird render delay. That really shouldn't have happened like that. And also, here's an embarrassing Dave moment. That was the wrong door. It's the wrong door, Dave.
A floppy disk is how we used to play games, kids.
Oh, Dave! Oh no, I can't remember where the door is. I've forgotten where the door is.
This is just, it's beautiful. This is a beautiful moment. I like this. This is kind of classic poet stuff too. Like, it's so good. God damn it, Dave.
I made it and I shouldn't know where the Oh dear. This has, however, taken us to a place you haven't seen yet, which is kind of, you know, a bonus.
Yeah, it's great.
What it was supposed to do, and now I'm racking my brain to try and remember where the door is
Ew,
that
no,
actually
David.
does it.
Doctor
There's a door that when you open, you end up on a flying plane.
Oh?
You're actually on a plane in the sky. When you go and look out the windows, you can see the sky, you can see the clouds, you can just see the ground in the distance, and everything's moving around you.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, so it genuinely looks like the plane is flying along.
Oh, that is so clever.
Which is the one I was supposed to take you to. What I've taken you to is the keycard room that brings you to Cooler Airfield. So everything you see here, including all the trees surrounding it, the ground, the lot, is all completely new.
Oh, wow.
This was a completely blank area. There was nothing here, not even grass.
Oh, wow. That
So
is
this
really
is
cool.
Yeah, it's quite proud of this area.
Thank you, honey.
It still has one or two little bugs
It's
that were
like,
noted in the
"Honey, you filled
testing.
my water bottle."
I believe there's a water tower here
I would
that's
usually
slightly
just be
floating that I
thirsty
need
my
to
whole
address.
stream. This is a right treat.
But yeah, all in all, not terrible. Really proud of the road and the runway. Do you notice how it adapts to the shape of the floor?
Mm-hmm.
That's something that Us Legends created.
It's been like pushed up by moving ground, and yeah, this is
Yeah.
fantastic.
We basically have a way of painting on roads, paths, and things like runways now.
This is an all new area.
Whereas normally they're a solid,
of
straight
Esper.
object that you can only lift up and twist. These manipulate themselves to whatever the shape of the floor is.
Oh, wow.
It, from a developer point of view, it makes your life a million times easier.
Yeah, and so how do you get something like that then? Is that coding?
Yeah, it's playing around with the actual mod itself. We found a repackable mod called Vanilla Road Parts Pack, which basically came with a whole bunch of roads and whatnot, and we manipulated it basically to match, how can I put it, match each graphical point rather than the whole item. But it's a bit of code manipulation. We basically copied the code from one style of item and one style of placing, and then used that on another.
Oh, okay.
It was the orange. Yeah, it's the orange door is the one that I need to find. I can't remember whether. Yes, it is. Genuinely, I've completely forgotten where I put that door.
Oh, here's an orange key card.
Now, if I can only remember where the door is.
This is a cool suppressor. This black and red thing. It's neat.
Ah, yeah, these are a repackable mod that we found in the very early days. They're universal.
They're very
So-
cool.
Yeah, they're really pretty, and they fit on any gun that accepts a suppressor.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, so you can take like this SG here, dump the suppressor off it, go and grab one of these red ones, and whack it straight on.
That is cool looking.
Yeah. So now what I've gone and done is brought us all the way down here, which if you knew where the map was, we are now literally in the middle of nowhere. We are miles away from anything. But it does give an opportunity to zip our way to another area, I suppose.
All right.
So if you hold on to your hat, let me make sure I've only got me selected, because otherwise, yeah, there we go. Don't select the other person as well, or, you know, it's going to get real trippy.
Things are gonna get weird.
So, I am currently down in this area here, yeah. Need to look for them there, so we go there. Yes, look at that, first attempt. And bring, here we go. So, this again is one of the first ever areas I built.
Okay.
This was way back when I was still learning editor. It didn't come out too bad. I basically was scanning around the map, and I came across this weird area, and originally it just had all these trees in like this uniformed line,
Yeah, like
with
an
this fence
orchard.
outside
Yeah.
it, like an orchard, yeah. And I was like, this is a bit weird, but it was really blank. So we turned it into like a mini amusement park.
Oh!
Yeah, this is Ethica's mini. It's more of a hotel amusement park, if you get what I mean. Like when you go to a hotel and they have their own little kind of playground thing.
Yeah. Ooh. No, I don't need food.
So you've got your big hotel on your left, and then your little play area.
Look at this! Oh, see, I love theme parks and amusement parks, and yeah, I'm a fan. Oh, a lighter.
This was
Oh my
we
God.
had to start to learn how to manipulate the surroundings in DayZ because there were limitations, especially when it comes to like the level of the ground and whatnot.
Yeah.
I tuned into your stream and Poet stream so much more ahead. Sorry, Chaz. Yeah, I know that's a YouTube thing, I'm afraid. YouTube has a massive delay compared to Twitch. It's about a minute to a minute and a half.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the delay on YouTube is substantial. The chat delay is actually quite bad as well. It's about 45 seconds. So yeah, you can actually get into them. And when we get up to one of the next areas, we actually have a moving Ferris wheel.
No.
Yeah, it genuinely spins around. Sadly, we haven't quite got the collision right, so you can't get in them yet. But they do move.
Centraman
So if we zip up,
substitute teacher at the school, but I've
I
also
get this right this time.
I've also been referred
actually,
to
if I remember rightly, yeah.
the hiring
there.
manager for a writing job
We give a minute for the rendering to catch up.
for a military
Is that
newspaper
right,
called
Dave?
Stars and Stripes, and I'm
Not
hoping
right, Dave. Every time,
that I get an interview
always
for
with
that,
this place
but
as well.
I've been hired.
You'd think,
for
given
sure.
that I built it, that I'd know exactly where I'm going, but
I've been hired for sure to be a
Dave being
substitute
Dave.
teacher, so
um,
that's going to be really flexible.
patchy one there.
Well,
it's going to be
in theory, it's flexible,
back here.
but the teachers are calling out so much that you usually end
Talk
up
it out,
working
Dave. Come
every
on.
single day all
Where
year
are
long.
you? Where are you looking?
Usually end up as a long-term sub, so that's fine with me.
There's the.
And it's at my son's
Yeah.
school,
Okay, so you're in the wrong place.
so
Oh, Dave, proper pro.
at the on the weeks that I have him, then it'll just be like we're gonna go to school together, and we're gonna go home together, and
I've finished it. I'm going to got myself lost now.
he's very excited.
Well
He's
done,
like,
Dave.
Mom,
Well done.
Mom, be a substitute
not
at
even
my
patchy, is it? I
school.
bet it's
Be a
this
substitute at my school. All my friends will think it's so cool. Because I could have chosen several schools in the area, but no,
Yeah, why?
my son's totally down with it. He's like, we've got a
right.
great
There's
relationship.
the,
Yeah. But I was surprised. Most
Battle
14-year-olds are
explosions,
like,
yep.
get the fuck away from me, Mom.
So
You
won't we be
weirdo.
further down?
But like when I brought him lunch
Which way?
last week, I surprised him with
Further down
McDonald's
that way?
For lunch. And like in a cafeteria full of 8th graders, he just gave me the biggest hug and like forever and just hugged me.
I'm lost. Well done. Can't find my own frickin' buildings. What I should do is I should head. I'm sure it's this one here on this curve here.
I'm very fortunate that I'm quite close with both of my kids.
Why not zoom in? Hold on a minute. Okay, right. Sorry,
Right.
my admin tools are just bugged out on me.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
Thank you, admin tools.
He was homeschooled.
We love you, really, honest.
He was homeschooled.
Ah,
until
there
he
it is. I've found
Well,
it. I knew I was in the right place the whole
Just
flipping
because
time.
we were always in places
I
where
was just being I've hidden it that well from view to stop people accidentally sort of noticing it.
Oh.
That occasionally I keep doing it myself.
There we are.
So this is one of the end roads coming out of Pakshu.
Okay.
And most people will stop at that barrier back there that you can see in the distance.
I see, yeah.
But if you go the other way, go round the barrier, you'll see one of the areas that's still in development.
Okay, I'm running towards the barrier then?
No, away from the barrier.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a strange concept to him. Like, he totally...
There we go. Thank you, admin tools.
Yeah, I mean, he
Admin
wanted
tools
to
and
go to
amazing
school,
decent
and I
abilities.
wanted him to go to school. Even when we homeschooled, we were part of groups and.
So this
and
area is still in
played
development,
Sports and
which is
scouts
why it's
and all
placed
of
a bit
that,
further
so
out,
like
and
he
there's
was
this
just
big gap in
home with
between
me all the time,
that you can
but-
see where the barrier is, and that's kind of to make people still turn around thinking they're coming to the end of the map.
Oh, okay, okay.
Main reason this area is still in development is I managed to get these assets and the permission of the assets. Hello, my favourite CX customer. How's the 460 holding up?
Uh-oh.
It's fine. Oh.
I got kicked off the game.
Yep, I got kicked too.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it might have been server restart actually. Yeah, I think it was server restart.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if we have the we forgot to turn the game messages back on. maybe there's no restart message. Oh, so what's your name on here, Mr. Necro? I love it. The 460 is holding up perfectly. Look, we are working, we are playing, we are streaming, we are YouTubing, we are being interviewed by the wonderful Poetry Slam, and everything is fine. Thank you for your help. Really, it was a funny old kettle of fish, those two GPUs, and it really wasn't your guys' fault. You did really well to make sure I got online tonight because I needed to be here. So if you're wondering, in my chat, a lot of the people that work at my local CEX, we get on really well. So a lot of time in there. It's hardly surprising. They went above and beyond to make sure that I was leaving today with a working GPU.
Oh, that was good.
And yeah,
thank you for
it is my old GPU, but it works.
Well, that's all that matters, isn't it?
The server is back up now.
Yeah, I'm loading in.
I turn up and the game crashes. No, it's fine. It's fine. It was the server restart. It was supposed to happen. I think. Let me just have a quick look.
Yeah, I got rolled back. I'm at the little amusement park again.
Yeah, game messages are turned on. Right, I am there. So you got rolled back. Okay, let's grab you then.
Cookie dough.
Bring to me. There we go. Nice little roll back there for us. So the reason this is still in development is I managed to get the assets for all the buildings in this area, but the assets are literally just the buildings. So most of the buildings in this area don't actually have any furniture in, any decorations in, and I'm going to have to manually put them all in building for building.
Ooh.
Yeah, I kind of looked at that and thought that's going to take an epic amount of time. So rather than sit there placing, a telly in every other apartment and one, I'm going to set a preset up.
Yeah.
So when you spawn that building, it will spawn
Dr. Cookie
each of these
Monster.
things in each of these rooms.
Hello.
In the same way that
How
the normal buildings in DayZ works.
Dr. Scandalous.
I could have
Dr. Cookie
held off putting it on the
Monster?
map, but once I'd started doing it, it just looked so good.
Well, we don't
I was
talk
like,
on a level
yeah,
with
do you know what? I've got to build at least the base of this because this is cool.
Yeah, check this out.
This is my take on a mini Chernobyl.
Ah, okay.
So we have
Doctor.
the
Yes,
more
Doctor.
Russian style buildings. Russian is the wrong word, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
We have more of those style buildings. We've obviously got the cooling towers, which are quite difficult to
These
get hold
always
of,
looked like monsters. to me when
and
I
all the
was a
power
kid.
planty stuff. It has its
Could you
own little
imagine one of
domestic
these
area
coming
too.
to life?
Which
worse
we'll see in a
than
minute.
Siren
It's
Head.
some of the coolest flipping buildings I've seen in DayZ. They are awesome. They look so apocalyptic. It just fits so well. Shame they didn't come with internal assets.
Yeah. Oh.
It is what it is. Oh, I do love me some industrial buildings. You gotta love industrial buildings.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of industrial, like in real life too, and I'm a huge fan. As most people who are regulars in my stream know, I have a thing for cranes. Like I really have a thing for cranes.
I really like cranes, and especially on DayZ, the amount of fun you can have with a crane.
Oh,
which actually, I've got a little feature here with cranes, which you're going to love. Once you've had a look at this, I'll run you through it. So this is the domestic area. As you can see, we've got the spinning Ferris wheel.
Oh my god! Oh, I love this! Look at this!
The only downside to it is we haven't quite got the collision set right yet.
Oh.
So I'm afraid you can't get in it. Which is gutting.
This is so good.
But it does have a lovely realistic creaking noise that it does as it's going round.
Oh.
So it'll make this weird, like, metal rattle. every now and then, and you'll hear it creaking away. Really nice little touch.
Oh my god. Y'all.
Did put I'm not gonna put a smile on my face when I first saw that spinning. That was And
and it's really beautiful too. I love
Fucker
the
came out
rust
of nowhere.
texture. It is just so good.
it just looks not realistic. That's the wrong word, but it looks
Welcome in.
it looks like it belongs, like the one that's part hanging off
Oh yeah.
and it has started to fall off.
Yes.
And then obviously the one that's dumped itself in the ground, and you've still got the missing spike going
I
round.
see it. Yeah. This is so good. This is who made this?
Well, that Ferris wheel is a mod in its own right, called Pripyat Ferris Wheel. And the guy made it and then released it open source. So you can literally do whatever the F you want with it. You can edit it, you can retexture it, you can repack it,
Man,
you can change the speed it spins, you can change the noise it makes.
This is just wow.
I thought you'd like that. I thought that'd be right down your alley.
Yeah, and I love these apartments too.
Yeah, these are the Chernobyl style apartments.
Yeah, these are great.
So the textures inside are much more what you would expect to see in in a more Ukrainian Russian style environment. They've got the old 50s style wallpapers and the weird
Dr. Scandalous
miniature flooring made out of little mini bits of wood.
Yeah, the parquet flooring. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, parquet. As you see, there's no internal assets, so no furniture, no toilets, no nothing. So that's why this area has been placed out here for now.
Okay.
Until we've managed to get all of this done.
I'm gonna have to screenshot this building because it has to be recreated.
Oh, man, I haven't played DayZ since the old Arma 2 mod days. Really? You're going back a while there, going back to the Arma mod days. It's come a long way, DayZ, since then. A very long way.
These ones.
Let you get that screenshot.
Thank you.
Nothing wrong with having a healthy screenshot collection.
No, because I'll be using them to build assets in my DayZ theme park.
Yeah. And I use them for loading screens and whatnot.
Yeah, that's also a really good idea. So does having animated assets have an effect on the server's performance?
Yes. It does cause a reduction in server performance. But if you balance your server well, you should have excess performance to be able to do it.
Okay.
So if you try and put things like that on a one of the cheapest rented servers you can get,
Dr.
your server is going to start
they're trying
having
to get
performance
the
loss.
collision right
Because
so
it just
can get
doesn't
on
have the power to do that in the first place.
Yeah. Wow.
Whereas this server, for example, runs on a quad core i5 with 16 gig of RAM and a dedicated graphics card with a 256 SSD.
Thank you for the alert, Dr. Scandalous.
So as far as servers goes, it's up there with the big boys.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And that's something I kind of demanded with all the servers, is that our servers have much more power than is actually required. Because there's nothing worse than a server that occasionally stutters or has lag spikes or has frame rate drop. Because it will ruin the game for you. And it'll put you off.
It definitely can.
I mean, that's one of the reasons we've had the driving's been so smooth on here, other than my poor driving skill, obviously. I've got to remember how to get out there. We go up this ladder, if I remember rightly. Watch me end up on the wrong floor again, because I'm typically like this when I test my own creations. I end up going the wrong way. Did I do it? No, I think I'm on the right floor.
But we have dark side cookies. Do you?
I am on the right floor. Okay. Time for some DayZ parkour.
Oh wait, where did you go? Are you up on
Right up to the top.
Oh,
there
okay,
we go.
Okay.
Around the back.
No. What are we doing? Oh my gosh.
This is one of the secrets of Estica 2. Gently off this one. There we go. Don't get caught on the thing. And over you go.
Oh, no, 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 no,
And,
no.
Welcome to my little home away from home.
Oh my gosh. Look at this. Now what is everyone's favorite cookie? Ooh. No.
Not
no.
suggested to go out of the other side, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was sitting here going, no, 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 no.
No.
Oh god.
I had some fun making this little area. As Essica 2 gets updated in the future, this will be one of the places where, you know, one of the core secrets of Essica will be. When you're looking for, you know, something specific to do with a lore character. We're dying light now. Yeah.
Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Custard
It's,
cream, Slangone
It's a little bum
says.
clenchy
It
running across
is,
there.
it is. It'll make you squeaky, yeah. I have to say,
Gotta have some fun with these things, though.
oh yeah, absolutely. I love. I have these.
I think, other than the majority of the smaller points of interest, I think we've seen most of the points of interest now.
This is really cool. I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
of
This is one of
chai
my
spice
favourite buildings to
cookies.
play.
It's one of my recipes that I.
I like this building. It's definitely not my favourite building, but it's one of my favourite to play because it's very easy to fit in with almost every environment,
Yeah.
and it's actually a really big building with an awfully decent amount of stuff to find in there. Plus, it's as you can see, quite forceful about, you know, when you start going up in it. That there's only so many
Oh,
places
yeah.
to access up there. So you sort of bottleneck people as they come up
Classic
and
chocolate chip. Yeah, I make. A
Which,
good
as we all
chocolate
know,
chip
makes for
cookie.
great
I like
PvP.
shortbread because they're not like overly sweet. Oh yeah, I've actually jumped off that building before.
down. Intentionally?
Yeah, one of my friends has a server, and he gave me God mode, and he said jump off, it's really cool. So I jumped off, and then he removed my God mode when I was halfway down.
I'm not gonna lie, I've done that before.
People with admin tools are just a little bit different.
Yeah, if there's one thing I've got to say about hosting servers, pick your admins carefully. Very, very carefully. A good admin can be a cornerstone of your server, and a bad admin can be the destruction of your server.
That is absolutely true.
We have
That
some
is.
great admins here, and we're big believers in what's the word I'm looking for here? Not finding the truth, but looking between the lies.
Yeah.
Some people in DayZ get bad markers put on their name on their account, and it's actually not. It's not what it seems. You know, they got a bad admin. They got in an argument with a bad
Thank you
admin,
for the
and a
alert.
bad admin decided that they're going to go to CF Tools and they're going to register this guy as a cheater.
Yeah. I guess it is all about. It is. That's probably got to be one of the hardest things then, when you're adminning is knowing where the truth is, isn't it?
Yeah. As you get more experience, you can start to see past when something just isn't right. When you get like a ban, someone's banned for cheating, but there's no evidence put on it, and then there's multiple bans that all say shared ban. You start to go, well, hang on a minute. This guy's been banned willy-nilly with no evidence, and now everybody's jumped on the bandwagon, so to speak, and banned them as well. So, where's the evidence? You know, CF Tools gives you an option to add evidence when you ban someone.
Oh, okay.
So you can add a video clip or a picture. You know, you can show a screenshot of their stream with ESP turned on. You know, that clearly shows that they are cheating. Whereas if there's no evidence, it's, well, on what ground have you actually banned them? How do we know you just didn't like the person?
True. Do you have a drink? I've got flashing red thirst.
Well, you flashing red.
Yeah.
I've got beans. I've got a drink, but it's not clean. So beans should solve it for now.
It should. I just seem to have a really thirsty character for some reason.
I've also got an awful lot of jam. I'm not sure if jam gives you water as well, though.
I think jam and honey are one of they dehydrate you, I think.
Got to test this now
Which
and see if
makes
I
sense
gain.
given the.
Oh no, I'm gaining 2 on water.
Are you?
Yeah, so nice jar of jam there as well. That'll help. Remember not to eat all the jam.
What?
Don't eat all the jam.
Huh?
I'm gonna have to do my stereotypical toilet break again. I do apologise.
That's okay. No worries.
Stereotypical toilet break. You're 59.
Yeah, he is. He is, Centrum. He is into it. That's somebody with passion. That's somebody with a passion for the game, I think, and a passion for the community. It always shows, doesn't it? I'm taking that jam. Because my character has just been red. Like, no matter what I do, I can't get my thirst up. I'll put the jam back down. Halfway gone. This is really cool. I really like this area. I like the apartment. You know, I really think this is really cool for like building kind of old school areas.
You know, we had a desktop come in and test, and this guy left all his script hacks and timer tools on the desktop with all his game installed. Me and Sue were losing. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Poetry Slam. Poetry, you might find this one interesting. One of my friends from CEX is currently in my chat. And they had a guy bring in a desktop to sell. So obviously they have to test it, as they do.
Yeah.
And he left his game and all his game hacks on the desktop.
Oh my! Oh my!
He had all these cheats on his desktop.
Ooh.
I hope you went in and took his gamer tag down. I mean, I would have done.
One thing
I want to know what his name is.
One thing I really appreciate as a player is knowing that there's a trustworthy admin team on the servers that I'm playing on. And those reputations do get around, and there are servers that I won't even go near.
Yeah, I don't like bad mouthing other servers or the players, but there is one that I openly mentioned that I will not go anywhere near, and that's Sunnyvale. I won't go anywhere near that place. I've been on one of their servers once, and I thought something was a bit fishy, so to speak.
Yeah.
And only a few months later did, the whole story start coming out about what was going on. And I sort of sat there and I was like, well, yeah, do you know what? I completely and totally believe that, and I think I've been a victim of it. It was that bad that I have a local friend who was saying, well, why are you playing so much DayZ? So I was like, come on, come and join me, we'll have a bit of a game.
Yeah, it's fun.
And that was the server that we went on. He's never played the game again since.
Oh, yeah.
It put him off for life.
Yeah.
He was just like, no, this doesn't seem right. I can't explain how we just died. That was really weird. I could swear nobody in the world would have been able to see us or even know we're there. And we both just got shot while we're in the house.
Oh, yeah.
And he just rage quit. And it's a real shame.
Yeah, it can be a really, really discouraging. And I really think that good admin teams are invaluable for keeping a server safe, for lack of a better word. There are servers that you're going to go on where you're not going to be abused, or if you are, that abuse won't be tolerated. Yeah,
exactly.
You hit the person and you clip it, you get a screenshot, whatever it is that you need to do, but you make your mark and then you send it all in, and you know that it's going to be dealt with. And those are the servers that I tend to definitely gravitate towards, just because I know that my chat is not going to have to witness abuse, and I'm not going to have to deal with it, because the admin teams are so dedicated.
They're going to be on
to an enjoyable experience for everyone, that they're not going to allow a few bad apples to spoil
ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
So when I first started and I started transcending from being just a player and getting more involved in DayZ, the first route I went down was becoming an admin and a moderator. And I started playing on a really big server called Ransboot, a German-based server. But they had a German and English, so they had a rule where the only languages allowed were German and English. Okay. So most of the people spoke pretty fluent English anyway. So, yeah, I kind of started to enjoy the server quite a bit. I'd had a few interactions with the admins who've been absolutely brilliant. And I started to say, right, you know what? Maybe I could do this. So I applied for their admin team.
Okay.
And ironically, they snapped me up.
is
I got
it?
promoted to
Mr.
one of the highest
Necro,
level of
thank you so
moderators
much
in
for the
there.
follow.
And I absolutely adored doing it. It was one of my favourite things to do.
Welcome into the
Because,
Slam
you know,
Jam.
when something was going wrong, you were the guy that would jump in there and sort it out, basically. You were the guys that catch these people doing this stuff, saying
Right.
these things that they shouldn't be doing,
Right.
and then you could come down on them like a ton of bricks. And, you know, the feeling you got when you've got people coming up to you going, oh, I'm going to be this, it's Dave, nice one, cheers. Did he get banned? Good, he's banned. You got him, yeah?
So how do you, as an admin, and I know you probably can't speak for everyone, but how do you, as an admin, kind of protect your own mental health when you're being faced with? I'm sure that you come across abusive things quite frequently. So how do you protect your own mental health when you're dealing with that kind of stuff on a regular basis?
I'm quite lucky when it comes to mental health. I'm very good at disconnecting myself from what is going on around me.
Okay.
I can essentially ignore things very, very easily. It's a bit of a talent and a curse because I do it a lot of the time without realizing.
Right. Yeah.
But it means for me that anything that somebody says, anything that somebody does, or any action that somebody portrays towards me can be just like water off a duck's back to me. It means nothing. Only if I actually want to care about it, do I actually care. So for me, it's incredibly easy, but I will admit, it's something that anyone who's wanting to become an admin should really look on how they're going to protect themselves, on how they're going to make sure that they can disassociate from what's going on in the game and not let it become part of their life. Because if it becomes part of their life, it'll be something that they will dwell on, it'll be something that they will think about, or something that will irritate them, and in which case, yeah, before you know it, that is now causing you as much of a problem as they were causing for everybody on the server. And that's the last thing that you want to be able to do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just imagine. I just kind of always try to put myself into these kind of headspaces, and for me, that would be something that would be very difficult. Because I have my empathy is very hard to turn off. So like at the end of the day, I would just be crying like, I can't believe these people have to deal with this. It makes me so sad for them. I hope they're okay. You know, like it would just be on my mind.
Occasionally, I do lose control of it. And,
yeah, I mean you're human. You're definitely going to. Yeah.
I had a guy join our Legends development server a few months back. And he seemed like a really nice guy. Obviously, English wasn't his first language, so I suspect a lot of things was getting lost in translation.
Yeah, yeah.
And he sent some files over to a few members. And we didn't really know what these were supposed to be doing. They were weird Steam API files. And two of us went to come test it, and both our systems went down.
Uh-oh.
So, obviously, I came down on the guy like a ton of bricks. You know, threw him out the Discord, banned him from all the Discord things, banned him from the YouTube to Twitch, all the servers, the lot. Just get rid. And yeah, I sat and dwelled on it for days, and I felt really shitty. Because I was like, what if that wasn't intentional? What if them files weren't supposed to do that to our system? What if, that's just how those files run in his country? What if it wasn't malicious?
Oh, yeah.
And because I was dwelling on it, and because it started to become... but I had to get somebody to have a really good look at these files and find out exactly what it was they were supposed to be doing.
Right.
And when it came out what they were supposed to be doing, I'd made the right decision. You know, he was specifically trying to steal our Steam accounts.
Whoa.
So, yeah, I didn't feel so bad then, but for several days, yeah, I was doing exactly what you would do, and I'm like, you know what? Have I made the right decision there?
Yeah,
Have
hard.
I just punished somebody for no reason?
Yeah, I think that's probably in the streamer space and in the admin space, and when you're dealing with large amounts of groups of people that are mostly anonymous online, it's really hard to know the right decision sometimes.
Mr. Necro, right, one thing you should look into, if PvP is the main thing that's blocking you from playing DayZ, look into PvE servers. There are a whole group of servers out there that don't allow you to shoot each other.
So I think that's great advice, and I'll add that I've only been playing DayZ for a little over a year. I think I'm just at about 1,100 hours, and my first 700 hours were all on a PvE server. I never did PvP until about 8 months ago or 9 months ago, I think.
My first ever server was a PlayStation 4 that I resided on, and not one that I just jumped in, played, and then left. Was on the PS4, and it was a PvE server. I became their radio DJ. I took over Radio Zenit and used the headphone port on my controller. Got a splitter that split the microphone and headphones up, and wired the microphone to my laptop, put on a virtual DJ software, and played the music through my laptop, through the character's voice, and then through the radios. So everyone could listen on, they could attach the radio to the backpack, and while they're driving around and whatnot, they'd be listening to my radio station with funky fake adverts and shout-outs to people playing and whatnot, and it was a really good experience. We had, in fact, I'm trying to remember one of the adverts. We had a guy that only grew cannabis on the server. That's all he did. And he had a giant farm, so we made a job advert for him, saying that Pablo Escoweed Industries is looking for staff.
Pablo Escoweed. I love it. I love it. That's so good.
I really loved that. I started playing PvP for the danger factor. There's a real big danger factor that you get when you're on a server where you know somebody at any point could jump out and try and kill you. And it puts you on edge. It makes you think about everything that you're doing. And yeah, I will admit, when I first started getting into the PvP side of DayZ, I wasn't much of a fan. It was, hey, there's a guy. Hey, you're dead.
The first PvP that I ever experienced was actually in True Colors. That was, I entered.
Oh, really?
I entered. It wasn't the most recent one. It was the one just before that, though. The one that he held on Banov. And not only was it my first DayZ PvP experience, it was my first PvP experience of any game ever. I'd never gone outside of the sandbox gaming or racing gaming realm, like, ever. I'd never done any open servers. I'd never done any PvP anywhere else. So it was a first of everything. And I was pretty hooked pretty instantly. I love the unknown of it. I love that adrenaline rush. I love that shaky feeling. I love that I'm freezing cold because my anxiety is so skyrocketed. I love the kind of unpredictability part of it.
Yeah, in DayZ in vanilla or in open mode, as I'd call it, where it's basically PvP, PvE, you do what you want. It's an exhilarating game at times. It's a game that will have you right on the edge of your seat. It'll have you sweating buckets, shivering like no tomorrow, so nervous, and you'll come off it with a heart rate that is absolutely in the clouds.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's one of the cornerstones that makes the game so great, because
it is.
You never know. You're constantly thinking of what is going to happen next. What's going to happen when I go around that corner?
Yeah, and even with the survival stuff, I mean, you're flashing red hunger and you're flashing red thirst, and your health is going down, and you find a length of rope, and you find a chicken, and you make a hook, and you run and you find a river, and you get that fish at the last possible second, like when your health is flashing really fast, and you just know, and you get that fish, and it gives you just enough to get to the next thing. And
yeah, that one time when you're stood next to the fire with the food on the floor, trying to cool it down, with flashing health, flashing food, flashing water. You just, come on, cool down, please.
You can come back from the brink. You can come back from the brink.
Yeah.
And be. Yeah, you can think that you're gonna die, and then you end up having like a 3-hour run, and it's the best run ever.
I still think the DayZ itself and the DayZ community still have a long way to go. There are still problems within the community. There are still problems within the game. But compared to most other communities,
Yeah, kids are great so far, Spar.
Steps ahead of them. There aren't many times where you as a complete nobody are going to be less prioritized in something like an event than somebody who's well known. Whereas a lot of other games, that is pretty much core. A lot of other games, if 15 big creators come in and there's 20 slots, them 15 are getting in.
Yep.
And only 5 of you lot are getting here. Whereas with DayZ, it's completely different.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm not going to lie, in the early days when I wasn't getting into events and whatnot, I did have this thought of, is it because I'm, is it because I'm a DayZ nobody? Is it because I don't really have a popular YouTube? Is it because I don't really do the Twitch? Is that what's causing it? And as time went on, I realised, no, it's not. That was just bad luck. You just didn't get picked. You just didn't come out the random number generator.
Yeah, and it's also just a matter of lucky timing, isn't it? I mean.
Yeah, Kings of the Castle actually was a prime example of that. I'm pretty sure one of the reasons I got in King of the Castle is because I was on that post within minutes of it drops.
Yep.
I was straight on the post.
Man, that one exploded. That one absolutely exploded.
Hi, Narish. Naria. How you doing? We are here with Poetry Slam. We are being interviewed. It's most interviewing.
Yeah, it is. It is most interviewing.
Most interviewing.
It's quite enjoyable. Yeah.
Oh, what zombie on the right? Oh, she's an angry one. Come on, love, calm down. I mean, seriously, there's no need to be distressed. Ow! That was unnecessary. How's that? There you go.
She's very upset that someone took the last Pepsi.
It's understandable, you see. When it comes to the apocalypse and the last few cans of Coke, I mean, people start taking the last few cans of Coke. That's
Exactly.
it. Oh, we've got a few coming. One to your left, one ahead. I'm in truck, so I don't want to fire the weapon. I know if I fire the weapon, it's going to be a slight problem for us. I guarantee there's a few more in the background hiding away.
Yeah, no worries.
It's a bit like the pound shop in lunchtime in Broadway. Yeah, I'll give you that one. I know that pound shop quite well. You go in there in lunchtime and there are no cans of pop left.
See, the first time I ever went to, where was it? We were in Wales, I think. That was the first time I ever saw a pound land, I think it was called.
Poundland!
And I thought it was an adult store. And I was laughing my ass off, and then
Poundland.
yeah. Then I realized it was in fact, a pound store. And then I thought, oh, that's cheeky. That's a cheeky name.
But Poundland has a bit of a reputation in this country. We call their product disposable. You guarantee it's going to break.
Gotta start work.
Just guarantee it will break.
Great day. Thank you so much.
They've started moving into things that aren't a pound now as well. So
that's sneaky. You can't call it Poundland if it's multi-pounds. Then it has to be multi-pound.
I kind of had that argument as well. I mean, now you've got to call it around a pound land, which doesn't really have the same ring to it.
Or you could call it pound around land.
I'm doing good. I've been watching you since you took the wrong keycard door. You saw that then, yeah? The worst part is I created this. I should know where the doors are. But it's me, so I don't.
Oh, man.
Yeah, one of their flagship ones I've tried is their gaming keyboard and mouse bundle. For a mere £10, you can have a keyboard that will only let you press 3 buttons at once.
Wow.
Yeah, really bad budget gaming stuff on the side.
That's
I agree. It's really bad. It's terrible. The mouse, I was using it for about a week. It felt like much higher quality than it was. It was really good. And then it started, but my left click got a bit stuck. So you did that thing where you sort of go, and unstick it a bit.
Yeah.
And then it suddenly got really light and started making this really loud rattle. So I was like, what's going on there? So I turned it over and I opened it up, and the rattle was now a big piece of metal that had been glued to the bottom of the mouse to weigh it down.
Oh my goodness. That's ridiculous. But also, I guess you kind of get what you pay for a bit.
Yeah, you get what you pay for. I mean, you pay £10 for a keyboard and a mouse. What do you expect?
I got a bunch of purple on. This is true. I have an Extrafy gaming mouse that I absolutely love. I've been using it for almost 2 years, but I won it for free on a Twitter giveaway. They were doing like a Christmas giveaway, and I thought, oh, I've never won anything in my life, but I'll go ahead and try. And I actually got it. And the day that I got the mouse was the day that I did my very first stream.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I've got an RGB 4. Is it 4 button? Yeah, 5 button. Sorry, I've got an RGB 5 button gaming mouse. Has it got a brand? Oh, it's Extreme apparently. It's an Extreme mouse. I don't know what makes it extreme. I don't know. But this one was it was donated to me. I was playing. I was on Twitch at the time.
Why is this?
And I was halfway through a game, and my right click just died.
That's not a good time for that to happen.
Completely died. Yeah, I couldn't aim at all, so I was completely screwed. And I had to end the stream. And I was going to go out the next day and buy one, and somebody who I'd sent something to previously had my address on the return address label. So they sent me a message and said, oh, no, don't go buy a mouse, don't go buy a mouse. I'm like, no, you don't have to send me anything. And then he sent me an order number. He's like, it's too late. Nothing you can do, I bought it.
Zombie survival days.
You can't return it, so I accepted it, and I've been using it to this day. It's not a bad mouse, actually.
Yeah, and that's another kind of thing, like with the generosity, the spirit of generosity that we have. I cannot get out of Red Thirst. It is crazy. I've never had such a thirsty character.
You're still in Red Thirst?
Yeah, can you believe it?
We're in Tuck, I believe, but I think Tuck has a water well.
Oh, okay.
And I do have a bottle, it just has dirty water in it.
Yeah, let's,
If we can find the well, we can get your thirst sorted.
Yeah.
You've got, you've got a Steel series with a screen on it, and you definitely didn't buy it for nonsense reasons. I know what GPU you have, that's got a screen on it too. You definitely bought it for nonsense reasons.
Huh?
Your case has more screens in it than my desk does. So that's one of the guys in CEX. Pretty much every part of his computer's got a screen on it.
Wow.
He's got a screen on his mouse, he's got a screen on his GPU. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got a screen on his power supply.
Oh my gosh.
That's when you go to the absolute extreme of upgrading.
I think so, because we discussed
Personally, I'm more
it,
of a budget
Central, we
upgrader.
discussed it before starting the stream.
I do like the budget. I do like the idea of budget. I like the idea that you can do an awful lot more for an awful lot less than people think.
Yeah, I agree. You just have to, I mean, like for me, I don't know, I'm always afraid that I'm gonna get, like, scammed.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be out double the money, because I've spent the money to be scammed, and then I'll have to actually spend the money to get something that works.
Yeah. See, disregarding the problems I have with GPUs today, because at the end of the day, it happens. It doesn't matter where you're going. There will be problems that are unforeseen. It's one of the reasons that I shop at places like CEX, and it's because they have that big, massive warranty. You know, a 2-year warranty is a decent amount of warranty to have on a second-hand product.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't
You know,
think the
and
well is here, is it?
No, I'm starting to get a little confusing debating whether Tuck actually has a well. I kind of thought Tuck had a well, but I'm guessing not. And I've now lost my sense of direction of which way we came in, so as to which way we're now heading. Oh no, right, I see. Well, the main reason there's not a well here is because this isn't Tuck. We're in luck. We're not even where I thought we were. I do have some more. Are you red flashing level now?
Yeah, but I've got beans.
Oh, you got beans? Okay, I've got the smallest amount of jam left in a couple of jars, and I'm mid-yellow,
Thank
so
you for.
I'm not bad.
Hey, what's up?
JC, hello. Not yet, but it's in the works. God, I can't imagine you having a power supply with a screen on it as well. That's terrible. The 3090 was the one we got in the shop, so I traded in a 3070 towards it. Mainly for the VRAM. Usage is 4K. Yeah, using your graphics card on 4K is really going to chew up that memory, like incredibly. Personally, I'm a bit of an advocate that 1080p, 60 frames a second is enough. Nothing wrong with 1080p at 60 frames a second. It's clean, you know. It doesn't stutter. It doesn't, you know. You don't really feel like you need more. It's nice to have more, but you don't need it. You've got me waffling on about technology now.
And there's a little bit of a black hole for me, just because for 17 years I was married to a man who started out in IT and ended up eventually being cybersecurity, but who was all things computers. That was his expertise. And so, like every 3 years, like every third year for my birthday, he would build me a gaming PC, or he would upgrade my existing gaming PC, and I would always be like, well, I mean, you know, what is all this stuff? And he'd say, you don't need to worry about it. I'm the computer guy. So I never learned. And then one day we got unmarried, and I had to build my own. I had to upgrade my own gaming PC, and I was like, well, what the fuck do I do with
what
any
am I
of
doing?
this?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, so I've been learning, and you know, it's just like any other process. It's a process. And there are new terms to understand and new acronyms to dissect and new things to read about, but I don't have a whole lot of time to like fully throw myself into it. So I'm still kind of like in that newborn phase of fully understanding what I've been using for so many years.
Ironically, my wife was a complete PC noob a few years back. Like, literally a complete PC noob. Could hardly turn the damn thing on and use it, to be fair. Now she's a regular DayZ player. She knows quite a lot about the system. She knows how it works. She knows the warning signs of when things are going wrong.
I love coffee. But it's
She
midnight, so
could
I'm not.
probably upgrade her system on her own, but chooses not to. I can't say I blame her. She's got me here.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's come a real long way, and her interest in it has really sparked off. A lot of that came this last year, though, since I started doing DayZ.
I think
Since
that's
I started
the
doing
key.
DayZ, yeah.
You've got to have
She's
the
sort of-
interest to really
Yeah.
want to.
She kind of, oh, whoa, don't go that way. Oh,
Okay.
good. Alright, don't aggro the others, please. Yes. Come on, mate, just us. We're the only ones here, mate. Don't go and tell your mates. Your mates don't need to know. There's about 4 of them outside one house there, and I think there's a couple more next to the other one as well.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and flank round them. I'm pretty sure there is actually a water source in this town, though.
But
yeah, once she
yeah,
started
like,
to see what was going on, she started getting interested in it, like you said. And once she started getting that interest, that was it. It just started ballooning. It was all over it.
yeah. I kind of have a rudimentary knowledge, but nowhere near an expert level. And so I kind of read what I can. And there's this website. It's US based, but you can access it from anywhere. Hold on a second. Oh, he hesitated. That was weird. Go away. Oh, duct tape. There's a website called Coursera that allows you to take university courses and just audit them for free. And they do a lot of kind of computer stuff. So I'll go take those every once in a while when I have time and kind of do a little deep dive into it.
Yeah, that's
'cause I
a
better
really
wanna-
smart idea.
Yeah, I really for me, I'm not ever satisfied just knowing, okay, this is a GPU and this is what you need because you need graphics. I want to know why. And then I want to know why the why. And I want to know how it works with the other components of the system, because if I can fully understand something, it then it makes sense to me. And once it makes sense to me, it becomes easy.
Yeah, why can I not use this GPU? Why must I have one of these GPUs?
Right.
Yeah. And then once it starts to make more sense to you, you can start to change, you know, what you're doing, what you're building, how you're using it to match for exactly what you want. I'm a big fan of that knowledge is power. That's how I build a lot of the budget systems. And a lot of the time, people like, you know, Necro in my chat now will actually come back and be slightly shocked that, you know, the system I built is capable of doing that. I recently picked up a 610 GPU for £20, which, to be fair, is a really old and pretty piss poor GPU.
Yeah. That was a while ago. It will run DayZ.
Yeah, it ran DayZ, 60 frames a second at 720, 30 frames a second at 1080. Just because it was paired with the hardware that was most efficient to run with it.
Right, and it's good to know that. And like, to me, that stuff comes a little bit easier than all of the streaming stuff. With all of the different plugins and extensions and bots, and then some of the bots you actually have to like program yourself, and then that's where I really start to get lost. And then it's like, am I going to use Slobs or OBS? And OBS is more stable, but Slobs is more user-friendly for people who aren't quite as tech literate. And like, the streaming side of things is really what's been made me, like, that I've had to tap into that knowledge that I've always been a little bit too intimidated to learn.
Yeah, the streaming side does push you into doing things you wouldn't normally have thought you would have to be doing. I've had to. I mean, I'm very savvy when it comes to technology and computers and such. But even I've had to learn things because, you know, one of the reasons I was trying to upgrade was, yes, on the stream at the moment, this doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look terrible on my screen either. But I'm quite conscious that when I open my settings, they're a bit embarrassing for the amount of hardware that I've got. I could play this in a lot better settings.
Oh, for the computer that I have, I could balls to the wall this stream, but my freaking internet, my ISP won't.
I know, ISPs was something that was a thorn in my side for about 9 months, and I've only recently actually managed to solve that. I was stuck with two problems. One being that my connection was never that stable, so it would vary a lot, which would create horrible lag and dropouts and pixelization on stream. And my IP wasn't static. They like to change my IP whenever the F they felt like it.
Yeah.
So sometimes it changed daily, sometimes it changed weekly. And when you're running a server, when your IP changes, the address of your server changes with it.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow.
So it disappears from everyone's recent tab. Everyone's got to research for it. And any ranking you had is now gone.
Oh my god. Oh, that's wait.
Yeah.
Servers get ranking?
Yes. One of the easiest sites to use to check a ranking of a server is battlemetrics.com. They get a ranking out of the total server numbers based on the popularity of the server. So at the moment, there's just over 73,000 DayZ servers in the world.
73,000?
Yeah, that doesn't include official servers. That's community only.
73,000.
Yep. We're pretty proud, actually, that Legends of Eden is almost in the top 1,500 servers now.
That's a huge feat. Holy smokes.
In less than 2 weeks as well. It really jumped up the server rank.
Oh, Slingbody has fallen asleep. I feel
one of our few servers that has a constant player base. So it's very, very rare you'll go to that server and find that there's nobody on it. There's usually a few people running around there. And at times, you know, it's sat quite happily ticking over into double figures.
Wow.
He did very well developing that server.
Oh. I have chlorine.
You have chlorine?
Yeah, and I've got yellow
Excellent.
health. Can I have your?
Yeah,
can I have your dirty
go
water?
for it. Go for my. You have my dirty water.
Yes, he did. He said Legends of Eden. That's Legends of Eden, right?
Legends of Eden, yeah. That was created by Lead Breakfast, who is an absolute genius in server creation. He's phenomenal. I have never seen a person create a server anywhere near as fast as that man can.
I'm gonna get more.
Oh yeah, we can fill up from over here, can't we?
Yeah.
One of his proudest achievements was assisting a new developer, and the estimated time to get it all set up was about 2 days, and he was done in under an hour. He had the whole thing up, running, balanced, everything set up, all the traders working, all the mods working, the lot, ready to go.
That is amazing. So what's the Legends of Eden like? Is it a trader server, or like what's the vibe?
Well, it's a base building trader server, set on the Tropical Eden map.
Right.
So it's a slightly slower pace to most hardcore survival maps, but its pace rapidly increases in a very short notice of time. There are a lot of modded weapons, modded armor, modded vehicles, modded types of base building, complete unique areas and buildings. So it's got a completely different feel to most other servers that are out there. It's the kind of server where you happily run along with your mate, having a bit of a laugh and a joke, and then see a person and get your massive gun out and just blow them away. And then realise that it was your wife.
Wow. So how
Poor Donna.
yeah, I'm with you, Beaker. How so I have a question in chat, and that's kind of where I was going next, was how I thought Eden was taken off of the workshop because of copyright.
Yes, it was. Eden was DMCA'd off the workshop because it had assets that were not from any of the games that Bohemia allowed you to use an open license with. So essentially there were buildings or objects on there that they didn't have the license rights to use.
Okay.
So they couldn't use them, but they went ahead and used them anyway. Obviously that got it pulled off. Led worked very hard to get in touch with the original guy behind Eden, the actual creator, not the creators, and to find out what was going on with it and why it had been pulled. And basically what had happened is he'd got to the end stage of development, sort of run out of time that he had available, so got a few guys in to come and finish it off, basically. You know, come and do these last few bits. And they whacked a load of stuff in, but you're just not allowed to whack in. And he kind of didn't really twig what they'd done and went ahead and released the map. And obviously it got pulled. At that point when it got pulled, he basically said, look, I don't have the time, I can't put in the effort, and I don't have the heart for it. I don't want to go back into my creation and start having to pick and choose all these things that I'm not allowed and pull them out and then release the mod again. So he basically said, look, well, can we have rights? And the guy basically said, yeah, do you know what? Anybody who asks me is going to be given the rights to use it, and to use it however they see fit. Just make sure that you take every last bit of copyrighted asset out of that map before you release it. Which is what we did. We went through and we removed every last thing that we couldn't 100% confirm was covered by the open license. So when he started, Eden was a lot barer than the original release, and took a good bit of work for him to actually replace all those things with legal things you're allowed to use.
Holy smokes!
But he did it, and to be fair, playing the map, you'd never know.
Ask JC if he'll let me.
You'd never know that those areas were not part of the original map, and things were deleted from there and replaced.
Yeah, I think there's so much confusion surrounding Eden because of that whole fiasco that happened a few months back. So when you were talking about Eden, I was like, how do you have an Eden server? And so somebody in chat was like, I thought that wasn't even available right now.
Yeah, so it is actually available, but only if you source
are
out
you?
the creator himself and get the permissions off him. And then he will give you the permissions to use the original PBOs, which you then have to open, disassemble, remove all of the naughty stuff, put it back together, boot it up. You'll then have massive gaps in the map where things are missing, which you're then going to have to go in and replace yourself. But
Wow.
doing that, you can then use the core of the map, and the map itself is a really interesting
You're shy.
DayZ map.
It's okay, you
because
can
it's
be
completely
shy.
different to any other DayZ
You
map
don't,
out
you don't
there.
have to chat
It's
if you don't
subtropical.
want
It's really pleasing to the eye, and
Oh, yeah.
has a completely different style of survival. Gear and temperature is a problem. You know, you start running around with buck tons of gear, and you're going to get really hot.
Yeah, so when Eden like first kind of came out over the summer, I was in Florida visiting family, and I didn't get a chance to play it. And by the time I'd gotten back, I mean, I was only gone like 2 weeks. By the time I got back, it was already gone, and I was like, man, I never got to try that, and it looks so beautiful.
Sorry, 1 minute. I'm just catching up with my chat. I just made a server. It's called
Who is
Hellbent,
it?
and I'm wanting
Who
to
is
learn to
it?
build on it
Thank you
and
so
make it
much
my
for the
own.
follow here.
Oh right, yeah, we'll have a chat about that at some point, Naria, and I'll happily show you how to do it.
There you
No
go.
worries, Necro. You get yourself gone. Sorry if I'm not as attentive to chat as I normally am. I'm not
He's also
used to
streaming.
talking to somebody else and reading all the chat at the same time. That's more than 2 tasks because I'm playing, talking, and reading. That's a no-no. So that's why it's jumping from one to the other. So I apologise. I'm just going to squeeze a toilet break in, and then I could definitely do with some of that water.
Oh my god! What is that?
Well, it's pretty good, although KOS. So, yeah, you know what? I need to write myself a note right now to ask JC if I can interview him. Because I'd love to get players of the game, modders. I would love to try to find some modders to talk to. And server owners. So that we can kind of gain a bigger appreciation. Why am I wearing purple? Well, I love the color purple. Personally, it's one of my favorite colors. But I'm also on the Legends of Essaker server, and this is clothing.
So yeah,
that's
the
specific
copyright of DayZ, basically the
for that.
the open source license.
It's for Mythos,
at first glance,
who is another
it's
server,
very confusing.
another streamer. Sorry, I was explaining the clothing to somebody who asked me why I was wearing purple.
Oh, go ahead. That's the Mythos gear. So yeah, at first glance, the open source that you're given, the copyright basically is very confusing, but it's actually not. It's actually really simple. Basically, what it states is that the original vanilla files and anything created from them, anybody is allowed to use, manipulate, change, or edit as long as they credit where it came from.
Oh yeah, I don't.
So if this is
This
from
is the
the
first
original
time it's been a
DayZ
dual
source
stream.
files, the original DayZ game,
I don't usually
then
do.
you
Yeah, the dual
credit,
stream.
you know, this is a rewrite of original vanilla files. I have edited several original vanilla files. If another modder has made it, but it's made out of vanilla files, then you can edit it, change it, release your own version, but you have to credit the person that made the edit. So you have to credit that modder. Now, anything that's put into DayZ that is not from the vanilla files, not from an edit of vanilla files, and has been created by that person alone, is their copyright. So you can't edit it without their permission. And anything that doesn't come from a game covered by the open source license, again, is something you can't use in the game. Now, there's an awful lot of games that are compatible with DayZ.
There's the water. I'm just sitting here holding it. I just realized I was still holding it. And here's
I'm still white, so...
here's some chlorine if you need it. No, I already cleaned it.
Oh,
I already
wait.
cleaned it.
Why
Yeah.
am I pouring it out? Drink, thank you. Oh, pour it on the floor.
And I'll put
I'm
my-
thirsty. I'll just pour this on my shoes.
I'll put my remaining chlorine down too if you need to make one more bottle.
Thank you. Yeah, it'd be wise to make one more. So there's a lot of games that are compatible with DayZ, but are not covered by the open source license.
I see. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's essentially what happened with Eden. They used a lot of files from different Arma games that are not open source.
Okay, well then that's a reasonable
Yeah.
takedown.
And that's, why it got took down, and why it got took down so swiftly as well. Because it wasn't a report from a player, or a standard DayZ game owner claiming that, he'd had his files nicked. It was Bohemia who went, hang on a minute, you don't have permission to have those files on your server. Full stop.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they clamped down on it really hard.
Well, I guess that person found out real fast.
Yeah, and it's kind of gutting for the guy that actually made Eden, because he didn't really have any idea that was going on. He essentially got scammed. He essentially paid some people to finish his map off for him.
No.
Yeah, and that's what they did. They took the easiest possible route they could find to finish the map. And the easiest route was to steal a load of assets from other games.
That's horrible.
Yep. That's the shady side of gaming. That's something that us as the Legends have been trying to clamp down on and trying to get rid. We've been trying to get rid of paywalls. We've been trying to get rid of people monetizing mods, because that's a big no-no and actually not allowed.
Oh, okay.
You're not allowed to charge people for a mod. It's against the terms and conditions when you agree to purchase the game on Steam.
Okay.
But it's a quite open thing that a lot of people do. I'm not going to mention any specific people, but a lot of people, yeah, I know of one that will charge you £100 to have their vehicles on up to 3 of your servers.
Wow.
Exactly, and that's that goes against everything the game stands for.
Yeah, because you don't have to pay DayZ to mod the maps and release them on the workshop, right?
No, and don't
It's
get me
open.
wrong, I completely agree that people should be in some way compensated for the time.
Yeah,
especially if that
absolutely.
has taken, some of them vehicles has taken a massive amount of workload.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Right.
But there are better ways to be
Ooh,
compensated
a
for it.
new
than for
subscriber.
pay for it.
Thank you, Slang, for gifting that sub to
And
Central.
the
I
community
appreciate
as a
that.
whole has a bit of a reputation for supporting each other.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, I feel like, other than being a streamer, I'm also a writer and an artist. And I know those are two fields where people are often wanting your work for free because the work of artists just isn't really valued. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I understand the importance of being compensated for your time and for skills that you have that other people don't have. But if you know the rules and you decide to voluntarily, nobody's forcing you to, create within the scope of these rules, then yeah, you really can't whine about not being able to monetize it.
Yeah, it's something that you
Set up a donation page, people will
set up a
support
donation
you.
page, set up a
Yeah.
patron. People will support you. People who really value your mods will go and they'll chip you a few quid.
What's up, Rabbit
I mean,
Slayer?
they're gonna sit there
How
going,
you
"These
doing?
It's amazing. They're perfect. Exactly what I need. All the rest were rubbish. Oh, do you know what? I've got a spare 20 quid. I'm going to chuck you 20 quid.
Yeah, exactly. If people will support you. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a shame it happened. but it
4
does.
months and 2 weeks. Damn!
Like I said, the
Look
Legends
at
have
that.
really worked hard to try and
6
stop
weeks, baby.
that.
No, that's
we
not
got
6
really
weeks.
annoyed,
That's 4
at
months and
places
2 weeks.
like Netrado
That's not four
and
weeks and 2
places
weeks.
that rent servers. Because the quality level you got was nowhere near what they said it was. And, you were paying a lot of money
Ignore
for
me.
it.
It's after midnight.
And it was all kind of done under this idea of, well, that's the way it's done.
1 year and 4 months.
It's the only way it's possible. And obviously it's not. You can run a server for free. You can run your own server. There's no real secret about it. DayZ themselves Oh, hang on a minute. Are my shoes ruined? Because I'm bleeding. My shoes are ruined. Oh, no. I need shoes.
You knew the rules, and so do. Ah, no!
This is bad.
God damn you, Ches! No!
Domestic building for shoes.
No.
Oh, no, I've ruined my
God,
shoes.
not give you up. God damn you, it's in my head, you son of a bitch!
Ches?
Okay, so, I'm going to need shoes badly.
Yeah, well, we'll find some. We'll find some. There's
I'll get
probably
some
be some in
shoes.
here.
It'll be
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some around here somewhere.
We can make you some of the little sliders with some rags.
Oh,
right?
yeah. We can cut some rags up, can't we? And make
Yeah.
some improvised feet wrapping things.
You freaking
that'll work.
Rick
Let's,
rolled me, you bastard.
Oh, here we go. I've got something to cut up. Excellent.
Hell yeah. Do you need a knife? Do you need a canifa?
I've got a badly damaged canifa.
Here, I've got one that's not.
I'd rather use the badly damaged one for cutting things up. I mean, I only got 2 rags. Is it enough for feet? It's enough for feet wrapping. There we go. I got some flip flops on.
I think that you're a butthole.
All out with the flip flops. It's impressive when you've been alive for long enough to ruin your shoes.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, now I'm silent.
Yeah,
Silent days.
you're a little sneaky.
Sneaky days. God, no, I'm going to become an escapist now.
Dun, 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 dun,
My what?
dun, 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 dun.
Oh dear, that was much more enjoyable than it should have been. Oh dear. I mean, yeah, the road to setting up the legends was a weird one. It all kind of started with one phrase, which is like there's few things in life that trigger me, but one of the phrases that triggers me is "you can't."
Oh yeah.
You can't to me doesn't mean you can't. You can't to me means I can't, and I don't want you to do it.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're so right. Oh man, I didn't know I was getting a lesson tonight.
That triggered something off when I first started, messing about with DayZ, and I first started in the modding, and I'd acquired an Oculus Quest VR headset.
Yes.
And I started playing around with porting games to it that weren't originally in VR. I played BioShock in VR, which was terrifying. It was horrifically terrifying. And I was like, this is cool. Hang on a minute. I've managed to do this now with BioShock, which is a really, really old game.
I've heard that.
So why not DayZ? So I tried it, and it pretty much just said no. It was pretty much, nah. And one of the main reasons was BattlEye would pick up the VR plugin as some kind of attempt to cheat.
Oh, okay.
So it would block it. So I was like, well, how do I turn BattlEye off? Everywhere I went, it was the same result. You can't. You can't turn BattlEye off.
I need one more.
And I just... It triggered me. I just kept thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And eventually I kind of went, right, let's see if you can't. It must be doable. And after about 2 months, I managed it. I actually managed to disable BattlEye on a dedicated server, switch BattlEye off on my system, and play a server that had no BattlEye. So I then manipulated the VR plugin, talk with DayZ, and boom, DayZ VR was born.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, it is possible to play DayZ in virtual reality with full head tracking, so your character's head moves with your head. You can lean round corners like you can in game, so none of just this. You can bend your head around the door frames.
Oh.
And yeah, it was phenomenal. But it was all that one you can't that sparked it all off.
That's you clearly have a huge amount of perseverance.
Yeah, I'm a pretty resilient person when I've got something in my head. When I really want to do something, or I want to see something happen, I'll go out of my way to make it happen.
New subscriber.
Maddie! Holy smokes!
Because I believe in it.
Thank you so much for those
And I suppose
gift
that's
subs.
all you've really got in
so
life
much.
is your
New
own
subscriber.
For
personal
TGS,
belief and personal confidence
there's
in
only
yourself.
more. Ty, Dr. Fat.
If you believe
Steve,
you can do something eventually,
Ooh,
you
Thank
will
you
do
so
it.
much
new
for the work.
subscriber.
You will achieve it.
Oh my gosh, thank you so
No
much.
matter how
No,
hard
don't
it is, no matter how
apologize for
impossible
needing
it
to
may
work.
seem,
Thank you so
Ooh,
much.
a new
You're determined.
subscriber.
Oh, sorry. I was getting some more noises and I missed the
Ooh,
last
a
part of
new
what you were saying.
subscriber.
I was basically saying that, you know, if you have an idea and you're determined to do it, you will do it
That is true.
eventually. No
That
matter how
is
hard
true.
it is, you will achieve it because you want it so badly. I suppose it's a bit of an obsessive nature where you become almost obsessed with something because you want to see it happen and it's just not happening. So you just keep trying and you keep trying and you keep trying and you keep learning and eventually, yeah, it happens.
I can't imagine Daisy in VR though. Oh, that would be scary.
It is very, very scary and extremely difficult.
I mean, yeah, I would think. I say this sounds very, very scary and it's horrific and I wouldn't do it. But also, my mind is also going. But the underground on Banov in VR. Ooh, yeah.
The reason we mothballed Daisy VR was one very simple thing we couldn't overcome. We couldn't find a modder to mod for us. The inventory on Daisy VR is almost unusable. The problem with Daisy on PC is it demands you use the mouse for your inventory. Now,
Right.
Daisy VR uses either hand controllers or a controller.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you can't use the inventory with either of those. Which means you're reaching for you're putting down a hand controller and reaching for your mouse while you've got a headset on. You can't see your mouse.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you can't do that. So you need
Yeah.
a mod that kind of reprograms that to accept
Yeah.
another source of control.
Yeah, what we basically needed was a mod that gave you the console-style inventory system on a PC.
Oh wow.
And
That's
if
programming.
somebody could
right?
make that, then Daisy VR would be something that I would release publicly for everyone to use.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
From there, basically, I began to realise that nobody was really talking about how I was running my server. No one was really saying anything about it. It was really hush-hush. It was, you know, you go to Nitrado, or you go to GTX, or any of the other server hosts, and you buy a server off them, and that's how you get a DayZ server.
Right.
And I talked with a few friends, and they were like, well, do you know what? Maybe you should tell everyone. You know? And I was like, well, no, I'm a nobody. You know, at the time I was a Twitch streamer with about 100 followers. Didn't have a YouTube. So it was like, you know, who's going to listen to me?
Yeah.
And a few of them convinced me to do it. I released the how to create a server video. And that video has nearly 30,000 views.
Wow.
It's
Need to make some food.
exploded.
Yes, thank you so much. I really
It just,
appreciate it,
it
Beaker.
just set off like
have
an
a delicious
absolute
meal.
atom bomb.
Thank you so much for
It's
hanging
one
out.
of the cornerstones then that set me off on this track of, you know what, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep finding these things that people don't seem to realise is already there. I'm going to tell them how to do it. I'm going to make sure it's free, it's openly accessible, that, you know, there's support there waiting when you're stuck. and maybe, just maybe, it might make DayZ better in the long run. And yeah, I, hand to heart, genuinely think I made a difference in the DayZ community.
I would say absolutely, absolutely, and a
that's kind of all I
positive,
wanted.
a positive
Yeah.
one.
That's all I really wanted when I started, was, you know, to contribute to the community that accepted me from absolutely nowhere, assisted me, helped me, and I was just a little old nobody.
That's same for me. I mean, I came in, I had been streaming for a while, but I had been playing a Planet Coaster is a very, very, very niche game. Like you think DayZ's niche. A Planet Coaster is
really niche.
very niche. Yeah. So it's a tight community, but it's a very small community. And I'm coming in. One of my mods had played DayZ for years, and had gifted me DayZ. I'd never even heard of it before. I'd never watched any streams. Like it wasn't on my radar. I didn't know it existed. And he told me to come to his server. I was like, "What? I don't understand any of this. I've got to have this and this." So I went to the server, and he had a PvE server set up at the time, and I hopped on it, and I think I died within 5 minutes, and it went that way for probably the first 20 or 30 hours, and then
that's about right.
I got to the point where I finally found a weapon. I think I found a knife, and I found some food, and I found some pants. And I was like, oh my god, I have stuff. This is amazing. And then I died, and all my stuff disappeared. And I was like, wait a minute. I know I didn't make it very far before, and I thought I was just like so close to the beginning that I wasn't going to save, but does this game ever save? And and he said, no, it doesn't. And I was like, fuck this game. This is stupid. I'm not playing. I mean, I probably hated it for a good 50 or 60 hours. But because it was a gift, I thought, okay, you know, I owe it to this person. This is their favorite game. I'm not going to shit on it. I owe it to them to really, really give it a good go. And so I was like, I'm going to stop being mad about there not being a save point, and I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is. Man, wouldn't you know it, it became kind of an obsession. And then there were people in the community that I'd met that were so eager when they found out that I was a new player. Well, oh, do you know how to do this? Do you know how to make a fire? Do you know how to make a splint? Do you know how to... You know, they were so eager to bring somebody new. There's no gatekeeping. I have not experienced any gatekeeping whatsoever.
Yeah.
They just were so excited to have somebody else come into this game and to be able to teach them. You know, I've probably been told 8,000 different ways to do the same thing. You know, because everybody's got their style, their play style.
Yeah, everybody's different on this
game. Everybody is generous with their knowledge, and then from there, you know, the people that I met were, you know, can I create this art for you? Can I create this emote for you? Can I do this? And it's been that way, and I've done the same. You know, if there are things like I've done voiceovers for people, for so many people in the community, and it's a joy. It's a joy to do these things, and I was just brought in. I was brought in, and I've received so much support and so much warmth. And I just never saw it coming. I didn't. That was a huge surprise to me. And DayZ has backed me. Like, the community has backed me up so
I found one.
What'd you find?
I found one of our custom barrels.
Oh, where are you?
These, funny you were mentioning about, you know, other people and other artists and whatnot coming in. Kid Carnage made these.
Oh my god! Yo, this is so good!
Have you, by the way, ever read the back of a can of beans?
I'm very old. I'm a very old person, and I don't have good eyes, so I haven't ever been able to, but I am now. I love this. That's fantastic.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, that is so good. That is so good.
Yeah, Kid Carnage made these. In the next update, he's added ones for Peaches, pretty much every, even Bacon.
These are amazing. These are absolutely incredible. Oh, I love it.
That was literally, like you were saying, that was the community just coming together. And somebody mentioned, how cool would it be if the barrels were like giant tins of beans?
Yeah.
And he just popped up about half an hour later and went, there you go, now they are.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so wild.
Ah, Jack, you have the original date that we set up Legends. Ah, so it's Legends' birthday on Boxing Day.
Oh, wow. So that's not too far from now.
Yeah, so we set up on the 26th of December in 2021 is the day the Discord was formed.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, as far as developers and modders go, we're pretty fresh to the scene.
Yeah, really. You've done a lot in a short amount of time.
Yeah, in 10 months we've progressed really, really quickly. But again, this is community based that's made it so fast. It's the sheer amount of work that multiple different people have put in, and the way they've worked together, and the way they've been so generous to each other that's made it a possibility. And we're not unique in that fact. The whole community seems to run like this.
Yeah, from the events to we all like everybody contributes to it. That's the thing. It's not just one person or one group of people. It's the modders and the server owners and the map makers and the streamers and the players and the viewers. It's all of that.
I mean, I'm glad you mentioned the viewers as well, you see, because DayZ wouldn't be anywhere near as popular as it is if it wasn't streamed so much.
Right, exactly.
A lot of its player base comes from streams and content videos and mini movies, and I mean, it's one of the reasons that I actually considered coming to DayZ on PC. I mean, when I first tried this, as I said earlier on, I tried it on PlayStation 4, and until I found that PvE server, I abandoned it. Because I was like, screw this. I've given up like 3 days of my flipping time now, and all I've done is run around with a glow stick dying.
Yeah.
One time I found food, I died with 3 cans of food in my backpack because I couldn't find a knife to open it.
So where's the zoo from here? Is it the zoo in Essex City?
Right, so the zoo is, South Essex City.
Okay.
So...
And I'm probably going to have to wrap it up soon. So Slangani, he's my guy. He's my sweetheart. I actually met him while playing DayZ, and I met him for the first time in game. So yeah, we met playing DayZ, but he's a UK lad. He lives in England, and he flew in today to see me for the weekend, and he's been traveling all day long, and he looks absolutely exhausted. So I'm probably gonna wrap it up here soon so I can start my weekend with him.
Well, do you know what? It's been 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Let's let you get your time with him. He's flown halfway across the world, man.
Well, I mean, I'm only in Germany, but yeah, it's still a long day of travel for him.
Yeah, and he's outside of England now, so his supply of tea has been reduced.
I have PG tips, and I think
you have PG tips.
I do. I
okay.
think he's already had a mug of tea, right? Yeah.
That's acceptable. That's not the best. I mean, it could be Yorkshire tea.
It's Yorkshire.
But that's acceptable.
You would say Yorkshire. Yeah.
That's what I've heard. I've heard that I need to get the Yorkshire, but yeah.
You've got to get the Yorkshire tea. It's the best tea in the world. It's made by people in Yorkshire.
Well,
not people in Yorkshire are like, they're like, mate, tea, I guarantee it'll be better than anything you make, man.
I love people from Yorkshire. Some of my favorite people in the world that I've met along this DayZ journey are from Yorkshire, and they're all
It is
people.
one of the most down to earth places England has to offer is Yorkshire. You'll find everyone around there is pretty down to earth. We're all a bit, you're like, aye, come on in, better get you a cup of tea, Anna.
Yeah, I went up last November and did a community meetup at Alton Towers, and that was cool. I went to Stoke and I got some oat cakes and yeah.
Oat cakes,
Yeah.
yes.
They were delicious. I'm a fan. I understand.
Yeah, you know, a good oat cake and an excellent cup of tea is a real heartwarming experience.
It is.
It's lovely.
It absolutely is. Yeah. It is. It's been absolutely enjoyable. I have to make a confession. I was really nervous too.
It wasn't just me then.
No, not at all. I'm always a little bit nervous when I go into speaking to somebody that I haven't really interacted with and like voice a lot. And you know, it's always a little, every stream is nervous for me. I start every stream freaking nervous.
Yeah, I every single stream, every time I go to press the record button to make a video, I've got full-on butterflies on my stomach. I'm slightly nauseous. I'm a little shaky. I'm really nervous. I'm edgy. It's natural though. It's part of that adrenaline rush that we get in the first place that makes us want to do this as well. It's not enjoyable at the time when you're in that little lull stage before, but once you've got going, it's kind of hilarious. You can kind of sit and laugh back at it. The fact that you were so nervous.
Yeah, it's crazy how even I'm almost 2 years. I will have been streaming for 2 years in December. But at almost 2 years into it, that first 5 minutes of every stream is still, oh my god, I'm so nervous. What if I say something dumb? Because I do every time. I say something dumb every stream.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a single stream or a video where I haven't said something
Thank
that's
you so
either
much for hanging out.
pretty dumb or slightly edgy. Like I might need to start calming down on the Boris Johnson jokes in my videos.
No, you never need to calm down on those. No. Those won't
They are
always be
hilarious though.
acceptable.
I'm sorry, so funny.
Dude, I mean, yeah, he kind of sets himself up to be a joke. Oops.
Yeah. I can't deny it in any way. It's just 100% true. Guy's hilarious.
Oh, goodness. Well, I appreciate you giving me your time. Time is one of the most valuable things that we have because once you give it, you can't get it back. So thank you so much for giving me some of yours tonight. It's been a lot of fun.
Welcome. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to, to talk about what we do and talk about, because I wanted to make sure it wasn't just all about me, that I wanted to shout out the legends and the guys that run what we created. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to get, their names and their work out there.
Absolutely.
They really need it.
If any of them want to do an interview, just tell them to find me on Twitter and DM me because I'd love to hear from that side of things too. I'm interviewing gamers who don't stream, gamers who do stream, modders, developers, server owners. I just, I'd love to see what makes this community tick. So
yeah, it's fantastic what you're doing, and it's an incredible insight. I've watched a lot of your previous interviews, and they are incredible insights into the world of gaming that you just normally wouldn't get on a day-to-day basis. It's a great thing you're doing. It really is. You should be proud of yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I love talking to people, learning about people. So it's kind of just something that fills my soul.
It's not something I do very often, but it's been an enjoyable experience.
It has. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my raid set up. And skedaddle on out of here. And again, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it.
Not a problem. Thank you very much. Everyone, stay for the raid. I'm telling you, stay for the raid. Do it now. Do it now. And everyone on YouTube, thank you for being here. It's been Poetry Slam. We've been interviewed.
Right,
nothing
guys,
disastrous happened. My GPU didn't blow up. My computer hasn't melted. And everyone's still alive. So yeah, just check yourself and make sure you're all right.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's been a lot
Ta-da,
of fun.
YouTube.
I really appreciate you all. And we'll see you again on Tuesday because now it's time for family time. Hugs and kisses and stars for wishes. I hope you all have a beautiful evening. Good night.
YouTube. Yep, that's YouTube done.